go, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages. It is Friday. Welcome to the Rob Brown Show Sunday Radio. This is the Fan Upstate. Howdy, y'all. How's everybody? Y'all doing all right? Everybody having a good day? Everybody rocking and rolling so far on a Friday morning? Were we having a lovely one so far? I very much hope so. My name is Rob Brown. The pleasure is exclusively mine. Not exclusively, because right across from me on the other side of the metaphorical glass, he's having himself a ball.
Hey, I know what you meant.
Stream.
Know what you meant. That's, it's that whole, producers aren't people. So exclusively, like, no one's in the room except for you. My chair's higher than yours, which I just noticed, but I don't care. Whatever.
You're just feeling yourself to say.
Yeah, you know why.
Just feel it. Lonzo's upset at me, ladies. Lonzo's furious with me.
It was actually the other thing, the reason. But if
the other thing too.
If you want to go with that, we can go with that.
Is,
you trying to steal my stuff, man. That's not cool.
Lonzo is both over the moon and infuriated with me at the same time. It's the duality of man is what we're looking at here. Because on one hand, we played you last week, the week before, whenever it was. Time flies when you're making award-winning radio.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. Lonzo made a parody country album by a band he affectionately referred to as Rob's Hat.
No, it's Rob's Hat.
Rob's Hat.
There you go.
And
hat is a 2-syllable word in a country band.
I was furious because Lonzo's whole thing is country music's bad because it's easy. It's simple. And then he just, on a whim one night, made up like 15 country songs that I absolutely would listen to, including one called She's Not My Girl, She's My Bartender. And I think for those of us that participate in bar culture.
But I would just say at 3 a.m., I am him,
the
one that's going to win her.
Yeah, you are the Carmelo Hayes of fake country music.
The I am him thing. It's what the kids say. So not only did I write a country song, which is easy, but I threw in today's vernacular because that's how I roll.
Lonzo's hip. So I think
my hip is hurting. Thank you for.
All of us that have been invested in bar culture will say. Have had lady bartender we have been infatuated with, I'll say. We have all had a lady bartender we've been in love with. It's happened to it may just be for one night, maybe for an hour, maybe for a week, maybe for a month, maybe for a few years. And I was infurious that Lonzo came up with this concept of a love song called She's Not My Bar, or She's Not My Girl, She's My Bartender. So I told Lonzo this morning that I totally ripped that idea and started writing that love song. And now he's infuriated that I've stepped on the intellectual property of one Rob's Hyatt.
Listen, if we're going to have a Bernie Taupin, Elton John relationship, which I'm fine with. I mean, Bernie doesn't get credit, but he wrote all of Elton John's songs. Okay. If we're going to do that, that's fine. I just, I need some compensation. That's all. That's all. I
would think it's more like, I'm Elvis and you're Colonel Tom.
Wow. Colonel Tom didn't write no songs.
I know. I just had to come up with something.
I mean, if you want to be Hall & Oates, we could do that.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Hall & Oates of local sports talk radio.
Although one of us looks more like Daryl Hall than the other, but I'm just saying. Well, no, and then one of us looks like Oates more than the other. We could pull off that look if we tried.
We really could.
Sturdy Hall & Oates. Look out.
Look out. Great to have you guys along for the show this morning. Hope you are having a great conclusion to your week. We have got a stacked, locked, and loaded show for you. And I will tell you, for those of you that have tuned in to find out what the announcement is that I teased last night on social.
Go to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Don't tell them. It's a clue.
It is a clue.
It's a clue.
Absolutely. And if you tune in right now, you'll know what the announcement is.
Facebook.com/TheFanUpstate, Twitter.com/TheFanUpstate, YouTube, search and subscribe to The Fan Upstate, and of course, you can come to Twitch and search and subscribe to the Rob Brown Show as well. For those of you that are astute viewers and have followed the stream for any length of time, I have given you a clue on the stream as to what the announcement coming up in an hour is. We will announce it at 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Big
We're waiting.
dude.
We're waiting an hour. Okay.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
get 54 minutes of tease from now till then.
They got to look at that for an hour. No, actually, I'll probably have to look at that for the entire show.
Bling. I mean, you're welcome, is what I'm saying. Come to the stream.
Now traffic on Garlington doesn't have to be concerned anymore.
Come to the stream. You'll get the hint. Otherwise, stick around till 10 a.m. when we will make a major announcement. That, ladies and gentlemen, and you will find out why I am proud to say is about not only this show, but every show on this station. It's great. It's great. It's great. Greg. So be here at 10 o'clock. We'll let you know. Outside of that, we got a lot of stuff to get into. We talked about it very briefly yesterday. Your 2023 Major League Baseball All-Star starters were announced yesterday. The Braves get 2 of them. Sean Murphy will be behind the dish. You will also see Ozzie Albies and Ronald Acuna Jr. listed not Ozzie Albies. You will have Ronald Acuna Jr. You will have Sean Murphy. You will have Michael Harris Jr. in the outfield as a reserve. Austin Riley at third as a reserve. Orlando Arcia is starting at shortstop. Ozzie Albies will be a reserve second baseman. And Matt Olson will be a reserve first baseman. So a really, really good haul there for the Braves. We'll give you the rest of the all-starters. Why didn't I just go with that the first time? The all-starters was right there. Just blew right past it. We'll come to those later on in the show. The Pac-12 has made a move that I find very, very interesting as they get set to make a move towards potential conference expansion. But we've told you there is yet one massive domino for the Pac-12 that has to fall. That domino is, of course, a media rights agreement. Well, they just made a move that tells me that they are setting up to get that done sooner rather than later, which means the next round of conference expansion is coming down the pipe at some time. I'm going to tell you what that is later on in the radio broadcast. Yahoo Sports has one of the most listened to college football podcasts currently going. That podcast is featuring Dan Wenzel, Pat Forty, Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports and Sports Illustrated, respectively. They are 3 of the most notorious? Is that the right word here? Notable, noteworthy? They are 3 of the biggest names in college football, sports talk, entertainment. And they have listed, between the 3 of them, their 4 playoff teams. Clemson not making the list for any of them. Lonzo, is this disrespect that I hear?
No,
it's
disrespect. In this case, it's reality. They believe the dynasty is over. We'll see.
A lot of people do.
We'll see.
A lot of people do. We're going to talk about that later on.
Easy to be dynastic in the ACC, though. Because Clemson is the ACC.
We're going to find out.
Some Clemson fans going to catch on. They're going to start saying that. You watch.
We're going to find out.
And you remember that it was me that started that.
And then you're going to hear that for the rest of your life and go, why did I start that? That's on you, dog.
Fuel the arrogance.
That's on you, dog.
Fuel the arrogance until the point where they actually start talking that way. Pride. Yeah, I'll take some credit on that.
Pride cometh before the fall.
Well, so here's the thing. You know, I'm very patient, so I will fuel the arrogance, but doesn't mean I don't have a counter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now less than 2 months away from the start of college football. And for those of you that love to play the game with me, Lonzo, our first betting spreads are officially on the books.
Cool.
Yes.
I got play the game tonight stuck in my head now. Play the game tonight.
I went Time to play the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the. I dare you. I dare you. Then Chris will have to come back in here and fix something.
LSU 2.5-point favorites over Florida State. Penn State minus 19.5 over West Virginia. TCU minus 20 against Colorado. A TCU team that has lost a Heisman caliber quarterback, lost their starting running back, lost, I believe, 2 of their starting wide receivers, lost 3 of their 5 starting offensive linemen. And I don't know how many of their starting defense is minus 20
Rob,
against Neon.
So a couple of dudes just sitting around going, okay, they lost this, they lost this, they lost this. So let's come up with a betting line because of this. They haven't seen training camps. They haven't seen anything. They have no idea what's going on with these teams other than some people aren't there anymore.
Which means get these lines now. Get these lines now. Here's a line I'm interested by. Utah minus 9.5 hosting the Gators of Florida. 9.5. Is Florida going to be that bad this year? Or is Utah that good? I don't know.
Wait, about that. Does Florida still play football?
How about this? Because I got curious. I went and looked up the over-under win totals across the college football landscape. Florida's is 5.5. That's football.
Wow.
5.5 is the over-under.
That would almost make me feel sorry for a Florida fan. Not really.
5.5 over-under win total. It's incredible. We'll take a look at some of those over-unders later on in the radio broadcast. How about this one, Zoe? North Carolina versus South Carolina. This one's in Charlotte, BOA. What's the line on this game, Zoe? Give it a crack. Give it your best handicap.
North Carolina versus South Carolina.
Yep.
This is Vegas odds? Who's making these odds? Vegas odds. Okay. I'm going to go. Where's it being played at?
Charlotte, North Carolina, okay. Bank of America Stadium at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, September 2nd. Your boy's going to be there.
A wink, wink neutral site. Yeah, I'm going to go that they say North Carolina by 3.5.
You're not close. You're not far off. You're not far off. -1.5. -1.5. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that while this is a neutral site game, it's obviously in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, I believe Charlotte's actually closer to Columbia.
Yeah, that's my belief.
Than Chapel
also.
Hill.
Yeah.
But North Carolina likely has a larger fan base spread across that area than South Carolina does. I think you're striving to get that stadium 50-50, right? I think South Carolina fans are going to represent better football. I just think there's more Tar Heels in that area than there are Gamecocks, right? So I'm going to go.
So someone believes that North Carolina is going to be better than South Carolina?
I am. Here's what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is they're giving Carolina a 1.5.
North Carolina.
No, they're giving South Carolina.
Oh, okay. All right.
They're giving South Carolina a 1.5 because they are technically playing in Tar Heel country, right? So a 1.5. Ordinarily, if one team or the other was a home team, you get usually 2.5 or 3.5 points.
See, I considered it a home. That's the reason why I went with that. So,
yeah.
Okay.
No, I think you're spot on. I think the line, to me, the line of 3.5 is probably about where I would have said, but I would have also given 2.5 points for being at home. I think Vegas is looking to this and going, this is in Carolina country. That's not to guarantee there will be more Heels than Gamecocks in BOA that night, because I think it'll be very close. In fact, it may even have a garnet and black tilt that evening. We will find out. Your boy's going to be there one damn way or the other, right? I think North Carolina is laying a 1.5 for a mild home field advantage in Charlotte, but we're going to find out. Spencer Rattler's got it right out the gate, man. That test comes right out the gate. We're going to talk about that and more. If you want to know the other line, Clemson opens -12 at Duke. So they're considering them better than 2 touchdowns better than Duke.
Is there a line on how many times Cade's going to hand the ball off? I'm just curious. I bet there is because there's lines on everything.
You can take a line on how many times he throws it.
Which technically would be
Here you
kind
go.
of the same thing.
I don't know what it is right now. I'm going to set it for you. Over under Cade Klubnik, 23.5 passes.
Under.
Really? 23.5 I thought was just a touch low. I wanted to see if I could bait you.
They have a pretty good running back.
Yeah. One of the best in football.
Wouldn't you want to hand the ball off to him? Just saying.
Duke won 9 games last year. Duke won 9 games under Mike Elko last year.
Did they beat Clemson?
No.
Okay.
But they won 9 games last year.
All right.
They were a pleasant surprise. I'm not by any means picking Duke in this game.
Because it sounds like you're painting them as a powerhouse in the ACC when Clemson is the ACC.
Every poll's got FSU ranked ahead of Clemson. I'm just saying. All right, we'll come to that. I'm saying I know some Clemson fans went -12 at Duke. -12 at Duke. How are we not -17.5? -9? Notre Dame is -22.5 against Navy. How are we -12 at Duke? And the answer is you're 15 points better. Duke's catching a little bit for playing at home, A. And B, don't sleep on the Blue Devils this year. I said this to you 2.5 months ago, and people were like, no, Rob, you're an idiot. This is potentially a 10-win team for Duke.
All right, this has nothing to do with Duke. This has to do with Clemson and how far they think they're falling. Clemson's still by far better than Duke, no matter how good Duke does against the rest of the ACC. This is a reflection on what Vegas thinks of Clemson, and not just Vegas, but a lot of other people, as you were talking about earlier, that we're going to talk about later.
There's nothing more
tees on tees on tees on tees.
Tees on tees.
Yeah.
Racks on racks on racks. There's nothing more frustrating in the world than when somebody just says, no, this is about me. No, it's not about you. No, it is. It's about me. No, it's not about you. Yes, it is. It's about me. You're never going to say it's about me, but it's about, this is not about Clemson. This is about Duke. This is about a vastly improved Duke Blue Devil football program.
It's about Clemson. Come on, Rob. This is not about Duke. Duke plays basketball, dude. Come on.
12 points. All right. We got to take a break. We are going to be rolling today, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you hang out. Oh. They're talking. Never mind. I'll tell you off the air. I can't say it on the air. Somebody's gross texting the line this morning. Not even ours. The other one. Ugh. We got to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up on the radio broadcast today, the Pac-12 has made a move that tells me that expansion is sometime in the near future, and they're knocking out hurdle number 1. We're going to talk about that. Is the NCAA considering cutting transfer windows in half? Not all the way. I know, that was fun. That was fun for me. That was good for me. Could it happen? Why could it happen? We'll talk about that coming up a little bit more, and a lot of baseball later on the show. I don't know, 33% of the show. The Red Band Show's on your radio. It's the Fan Upstate. I thought I had one here.
No, you don't. Why is it not Duke of Earl, man? Yeah. Can't remember who did Duke of Earl. Let's see. I don't know.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers. Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks? Nope. We use diversified.
All right, let's see if this works. I hear nothing.
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So who do you make more money? Only when your clients
Got a new thing and I can't. It's not working. So the cart wall is working. You just can't hear it.
Cool.
My cart wall.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. You don't have one yet, so
Nope.
that's. I guess I
Why?
didn't need to
So yours.
clarify. Yeah. And come around here real quick. You got time. I want you to see how much fits on a page.
Oh yeah.
So I
You
mean,
just click it into place.
well, yeah. You can't hear it, but but it's playing. I mean,
Oh, love it. That's gonna be fun.
yes, it will be.
That's gonna get its own screen, dude. I might ask for another monitor.
You were trying to figure out what to do with your third monitor, and now I mean,
Now I know.
yeah, I could probably use another monitor, but they don't want to be able to see the host.
You're welcome.
I guess I could see you on camera. Well, now that I've got to, did you see what my first one was? It's the Batmobile firing up. I mean, just because it's the old one from Adam West, the turbine where you can. I think he's actually saying the thing he said, something to turbine. Whatever. I don't remember exactly what it was because I was a little kid. Oh, did they? Okay, Josh. I haven't heard it because I'm old. Although Cypress Hill, that's pretty old too. So, how old is Cypress Hill? How old is that song that he mentioned?
I have no idea.
Is that like 90s, 2000s?
College football expansion is happening again. Not like today, but probably relatively soon. And a decision that the Pac-12 has just made is cluing me in to that. The San Jose Mercury News reported about a day and a half ago that the Pac-12 has hired Maureen Carrick. Maureen Carrick is the former chief financial officer of the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee. And she has now been hired to the same role for the Pac-12. Now, you might think, what's the big deal about that, Rob? What's the big deal? Well, when Maureen Carrick was the CFO of the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee, one of the most important things that she was tasked with was to negotiate the television rights for the Olympics, to participate in that process, to make sure that the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee were taken care of in the financials of TV contracts. Take a step ahead. Take a look. What is the number one priority right now of the Pac-12? We have told you on this show, you have been told on other shows multiple times, that the number one priority of the Pac-12 right now is, without a doubt, to get a new media rights agreement put into place. Why? Because the Pac-12 can't invite anybody else in until they do. That's the next hurdle. That's the next thing that has to be accomplished. So if you're working on getting a new media rights agreement put into place, if you are trying to get a new media rights agreement, financials are the number one thing to make sure that the deal is done, it is done right, and it is done with prosperity for the conference in place. They have just brought in somebody for whom that is their expertise. That's what they do in Maureen Carrick. So they bring in Carrick, which signifies to me that they are ready to take the steps that are requiring of negotiation, requiring someone with expertise in business financials that will be up in the 8 figures, 9 figures potentially if they go with the long-term contract like the ACC did. I don't think they will. I don't think anybody is. I think they see what's happening with the ACC right now and the struggle that conference finds itself in. It looked like when the ACC signed their very long-term media rights agreement, it looked like they had caught a wonderful deal. It looked like they were set for like a hot minute. But then the landscape of college football changed so much that the contract the ACC locked in that looked very good up front does not look that way anymore. It's a big problem, right? And so the Pac-12 wants to avoid that. CFO Brent Willman was let go back in January. Now, it was over a scandal that involved the finances of Comcast, a scandal which resulted in the media company overpaying the Pac-12 networks by at least $50 million over the course of the decade. Willman and the network president, Mark Shukin, were aware of the overpayments beginning in 2017. So they let him go back in January. They have been without a permanent CFO ever since. And there were a lot of questions as to why. How did this hiring process take 6 months? Especially at a point in time when the Pac-12, the number one issue is the media rights agreement and the finances that are connected to it. That's the number one issue. So how did it take 6 months to get somebody into that role? And I think we know our answer now. I think we now know our answer. The answer is they were looking for somebody who had expertise in exactly this type of situation. And Moraine Carrick is that person. So they find her, which means that now they can start really kicking the tires on getting a new media rights agreement in place. And if they can get that new media rights agreement in place sooner rather than later, they get that thing done. They get that thing signed off on. Then what can they do? Hey, who was the team the other day that left the Mountain West Conference? I just blanked on it. Whoever it was that asked for the extension. It wasn't San Diego State, was it?
See, here's the problem. It's the Mountain West. Who knows about the Mountain West? Who's not in the Mountain West? I said you were probably right. You're Rob Brown. That's what you do.
Here's the thing. San Diego State and teams like San Diego State in the Mountain West can't grow larger than the Mountain West. The resources aren't there, right? The resources aren't there. At the end of the day, this type of business is dog eat dog, I guess, is the expression that gets used very frequently. I am a huge dork. And one of the questions I've seen in the past of why don't we see the rise of new species, right? Like, why don't we see things evolving past the cellular level? The answer is because of resource scarcity and competition. When there's only so many nutrients to go around.
Okay, so we are talking biological organisms
In this
now.
particular moment.
Okay, all right, just
Yeah.
checking. All right, so you're discussing why evolution doesn't happen anymore if you believe in evolution.
No, it does still happen. It's an ever ongoing process. We as people are evolving. But the question is, why doesn't new life, right? We at one point saw cellular life become multicellular life, and then we saw that multicellular life expand into all the species around planet Earth today. We know that. So why don't we see it happening again? And the answer is because of scarcity resource. There are only so many nutrients available at any given place at any given time. And when you have had an apex predator that is capable of hoarding and consuming those resources, then lesser organisms can't compete, and therefore they get knocked out. That is the law of natural selection.
You're not going to go into climate change and
No,
stuff like that.
that's a whole nother analogy.
Okay.
I mean, at some point, we
you were heading in that direction. I mean, I know it's the off season and all that stuff, but I mean,
hot take radio, baby. So why don't we see new forms of life pop up? The answer is resource scarcity. There's only so many nutrients to go around, and creatures that have evolved to maximize efficiency in gathering, collecting, and utilizing those resources don't leave extra resources for new stuff to pop up. And that is effectively what we're looking at here. The conferences like the Pac-12, the Big 12, the Big 10, the SEC, the ACC, they collect as many of the resources that they can. There's not much left over for the Mountain West. So the Mountain West just survives. It cannot advance the way it would like. And listen, the same thing is happening right now to the ACC, to the Big 12, and to the Pac-12, right? Because these conferences are now watching the Big 10 and the SEC become the apex predators of college football's resources.
I hear voices in my head.
Are they talking to you? Do you understand?
Yes.
So they are gathering, hoarding, collecting, and consuming these resources, which means like places like the Big 12 can't be bigger. So if you're in the Big 12 and there's an opportunity on the table, like there appears to be, to advance, you got to get whatever resources you can. And while San Diego State University is obviously not USC or UCLA, they are one of the few schools left out there. Same with Colorado. Colorado's not going to replace USC or UCLA. That's why the Pac-12 is going to fight to keep Colorado, despite Colorado's having a discussion with the Big 12 to make their return. So the Mountain West Conference, or I should say specifically San Diego State University, is looking at this and they're going, all right, the resources are already scant for us. We're not going to be able to get more resources here. We've got to move to another niche, another environment, if you will. The Pac-12 does not have the resources of the SEC or the Big 10, but they do have better resources than the Mountain West. So San Diego State is better off jumping there. And while they are not USC or UCLA, they bring some level of resources to the Pac-12 to try to harvest, to try to farm, to try to grow, to try to exponentially increase, to just try to keep up. Not everyone in any given environment can be the apex predator, right? There can only be one apex predator. Everything else has something else trying to eat it. But that doesn't mean that organisms in any given, I sound like such a dork, organisms in any given environment.
Because of me, organisms in an environment.
Told you Alonzo's on one this morning.
You queued me up, dude.
I did. Here's the softball. Go bananas. So just because you're not the apex predator doesn't mean you can't be wildly successful within a niche, right? You all know about zebras. Are zebras apex predators? No. But they figured out how to survive and thrive in a niche where lions roam. The lions are the Big 10 and the SEC. The Pac-12 is a zebra.
Circle of life.
It really is. It really is. The Pac-12 is a zebra. And they are now looking to try to get other animals to join. All right, I'm getting a little out of control here. You get my point. So the Pac-12.
I think some of us got lost about 6-7 minutes ago.
I can't.
When you started going evolution, it's
Listen,
just like, yeah. It's just.
You say what you want. The analogy was outstanding, right? It was outstanding.
Now I just hear Hakuna Matata, but that's just me.
Not in front of the kids. So the Pac-12 has made a move to knock out the next turtle. Let's get this media rights deal done. We have obviously got teams who want in, teams like San Diego State, who are putting in their application to leave the Big West. The deadline did not get extended till July 1st like they requested, which means that they will likely not be leaving the conference next year. It'll be the year after that. But you've got to start building the room in the house for the new hires now, right? So they're trying to do that. Get the media rights deal done. Be as competitive as you can with the other conferences. And then once you have accomplished that, Then you start looking at who becomes available and when. Then you start upgrading or regular grading because there ain't much up available, unfortunately. Because if you're going to keep up as the SEC and the Big Ten continue to grow, and they will, you've got to be grabbing the best that are available as immediately as they become available out of the smaller conferences, out of the non-Power 5 and out of the group of 5 conferences. You got to get them now. Not because the Big Ten and the SEC are coming for them, but because the Big 12 will and the ACC potentially could down the line. This is a move to get the Pac-12's finances in order so that they can start making the next rounds of move, trying to find their niche, trying to find survival within a very harsh environment of college football. That's what this is. Let's take a break. When we come back here in just a minute from right now, I got a few more things I want to get to. We're going to talk about Trevor Lawrence later on in the show. Because somebody asked me, we were putting together our quarterback rankings, me and a couple of buddies at the last Triumph tailgate. And, we got through 6, 7, the guys you expect up there, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, et cetera, et cetera. And I got asked, where does TL16 rank? I actually want to talk about where he might rank at the end of the year. We'll take a look at that later on in the show. And NASCAR is set to run what I think might be the most interesting race in the history of the sport this weekend. And I'm going to tell you why, even if you're not a NASCAR fan, you need to make time to check in on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate.
To answer your question, Keegan, if you were a fan of the first couple of Indiana Jones movies, go see it because I thought it was a good ending to a franchise. Getting warm yet?
No, it feels good in here. I'm comfortable.
By the way, anyone on the stream, if you are just happen to be out and about at a secondhand store and you see a duster, let me know. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to do it. Just take a picture or something and send it to me so I can prove something. He's acting like he's not paying attention, which he very well may not be paying attention.
Responding to an email.
Which works good, the fact that he wasn't paying attention. It wasn't anything bad, Rob. So you're good. That email seems to be bad, but All right, let's change the outputs and see what happens. Because, doubt anything a break.
Welcome back, Chris Evans, Captain America down the hall.
All right, I was just getting ready to experiment, but here are all the outs. Yes. So I figure it's one of these two, maybe. This is just with this program. So
should be speakers. What I was saying is
but we don't need to go in and mess with all that when there's settings in this thing itself.
Don't need to go in and mess with all that.
Don't be mean with me, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the computer settings itself. When this is this is a separate thing. This should be able to fix it in here, right?
You'd think, except you have a really long list.
Let's fix it. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Outstanding work, Chris.
Way to go, man.
Glad I can help.
You just come in the room and things just work. I don't know when I'll need it, but at least I have it. Yeah, stop it. but I know I'm going to need that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come in and help me.
frequently-
But
Okay, I just what I was saying is that,
no, I know, but I found a simple solution, and I appreciate it.
and what I'm saying is,
No, we don't need to go do all that. It's good. It's good. Yeah, I
look
know.
at here,
I don't
and
want to
then
look
look
at
at
here.
here.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want
and
it
then
to.
just see which one of these lights
right,
up when
right.
you
But I don't want to mess up any other program.
see how
Because
that
it's-
one's moving. Then just set it
You
to that.
just have
You
to.
don't have to guess.
All right,
like
all right.
one of
So you just
four
you just
different
got to prove your superiority in front of our audience. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
It's what I do.
Dominance.
Get out of my room now.
I'm not gonna play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it.
I'm not gonna play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it.
I'm not gonna play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it.
I'm not gonna play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it.
I'm not gonna play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it.
Chris, come back and turn it off again. Lonzo's abusing his power.
Well, if he comes back and turns it off, I'll just, I'll just mess with it till I make it work. He just showed me 2 or 3 different ways after I already figured it out. What's the matter, dude?
I'm not gonna play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it.
So, for those of you that have,
I get you have the need to, but really, Rob,
I'm not gonna play with it anymore.
yes, stop it.
I'm not gonna play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it. It's called restraint, Rob.
What is? I see none of it. I see none. Zero restraint. We have been for a hot minute working on the studio to get to where we can drop bites, we can drop sounders. I can play some audio from this side. We can have some fun on the show.
See, here's the problem. I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus because I don't do that, but we been asking for something that we already had. And then we find out yesterday we already had it. When sometimes people need to come down to your level. And you gotta come way down to my level and how I talk and how I think and simple and go, oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, we got that.
So we finally
The
figured
things
out
the
that-
things we were asking for, we didn't really need
Yeah, we had it already.
because we already have it.
And the result of that, my thought was going to be, it's going to be great. I've got a list of sound clips that I can't wait to start bumping on the show. I think it's going to add a little edge to it, a little new element to the show. And instead of getting some hilarious bites, what does Lonzo decide he's going to play? I'm not going to play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it.
Over
I don't think I'm the one playing.
and
I mean,
over.
you're the one talking about playing.
I'm not going to play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it.
So anyway, now all the work we put in for 8 months to get that done, I want to undo immediately.
Well, I can play this other one, but I got to take it out of utility. Yes, stop it. I was curious if I could play 2 clips at once, and I can, but one's drowning the other one out. So there's things that we need to work on. Now I got to remember exactly where Rob was yelling about Coke yesterday. And I need to clip Rashad's laugh. I mean, there's some things that I need,
I just can't wait to break out Shane's. Well, that's a stupid ass question. That's GOAT tier.
That's hurtful right there. Thank you.
He didn't ask it to us. It's
No.
from another press conference.
Yeah, I know, but you're going to be directing it towards me. So, I mean, that's fine. Many of hosts has asked me that, and I'm still here.
For the record, and you guys will find out why in 15 minutes, I don't want Lonzo going anywhere. I'm not going to play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it. Not yet. How many times would I have to play that before I got a text from down the hall going, okay,
How
you
many
made your
times
point.
did you just play it? 9, then 8.
It was at least 5. I think you're thinking it was more because you heard me messing with it during the break as we're trying to figure out why it wasn't working. But then I fixed it.
Good
Chris
job,
Chris
buddy.
didn't fix it. I did.
Good job, buddy. I'm so thrilled that you did. So thrilled that you did.
Steven wants to know why you're wearing that. And aren't we going to make an announcement at some time?
Sure are in 14 minutes, as a matter of fact, to open up the next hour. Not that anybody just listening to the radio knew what I was wearing, but those of you on the stream do.
Stream, you mean Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter?
That's exactly right. Search for the Fan Upstate on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Search for the Rob Brown Show on Twitch. You'll see it. It's a hint because coming up in 15 minutes, we tell you exactly what's going on, and it's pretty damn cool.
That high calorie thing is popping up on my Twitter feed again. And
Got till
closed jackets are so passe. They really are.
Yeah, no, but
I
they
mean,
I still need to get to where I can touch the buttons together, man. It's bad. All right, let's get some sprots in here, shall we? Texture said, I have an idea of what you're wearing based on your tweet yesterday. Signed, Dan the pays attention man. Keegan wants to know if I'm making the announcement that I'm the next host of Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, we got a stick mic in the office long. They were amazing. How the heck did those things work?
Texas said, I just turned on the radio and I think 5-year-olds have hijacked the studio.
Wow. So you're saying that I am childish, that I'm a grandpa, sir.
I'm not going to play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it. Or madam.
I'm not going to play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it. Or
I'm not going to play with it anymore.
yes, stop it. Or
You
whatever
forgot
you
to say something before you fired it that
or,
time.
or whatever you identify as.
I'm not going to play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it. The lesson of today, in case you didn't know,
Don't give Lonzo toys. He will take full advantage
the lesson
them.
of today is that sometimes you have a friend who's doing something, and then you gotta say, hey man, stop doing that.
I'm not going to play with it anymore.
Yes, stop it. I just turned it down. I can turn it back up, but I just turned it down.
You know what I wish you would say right now? That you're not going to play with it anymore.
I'm not the one who said I was going to play with it. That was you.
Yeah, we'll never forget that. All right, we got.
You're going to be able to respond in kind soon. Take a little effort, but you'll have to catch something that I say, or use something that someone else says. I mean, you can find stuff, I'm sure.
Oh, it's
Because as you pointed out earlier, the first thing that you're going to play is that's the dumbest thing. So apparently you think that I say that a lot. So you're going to have that ready for when I do that.
Remember last segment when I said it's really frustrating when people say that's about me when you say it's definitely not about you?
All right, Rob.
Remember that?
Here's this thing, and I've explained this to management. I've explained it to family. I've explained it to friends.
It's always about me.
This is my story. Okay. This is my story. I appreciate you being a part of my story, but this is my story. You may think it's your story. It's not really. It's you're a part of my story. This is my story. And yes, I am referencing something. Someone out there might get it.
James Harden has exercised his $35.6 million player option, but he did not do it because he wants to stay in Philly. He did it because he wants a trade out. Shocking.
I'll show you. I'm going to sign my contract. Now what you going to do?
Philadelphia is reported to have offered as much as 4 years at over $46 million to keep the Beard in the city of brotherly love, the most ironically named city in America. And it wasn't good enough. He is likely going to force his way out. Harden averaged 21 points per game, 6.4 rebounds per game, and over 10.5 assists between his 2 seasons with Philly. And this is, I don't know, the single least shocking NBA headline of the offseason. James Harden gets traded. Shocker. Again. Whoever wrote that headline forgot to put the word again at the end of it. Lonzo, if the Beard came out today and said he wanted to be a part of your team, do you want any part of that?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's a good shooter, doesn't play a lot of defense. He's not really motivated, and he seems to be cancerous to a degree to whatever place he's at. But you know one thing, you sign him, he's not going to stay there long.
Nope. He's a great player. I'm not disagreeing. Again, 21, 6.5, 10.5, and
Best part
multiple
best part about
All-Stars.
James Harden was his ESPN commercial when he was in Houston. Houston, we have a problem. And he's just in there clicking buttons and pushing everything. Something that I just want to do every single day.
I don't want any part of this cat, man. I'm perfectly happy
All
with
right,
LaMelo Ball.
All right, so let's say you had to choose, and there's no option here. There's no don't do that thing. You had to choose between Kyrie Irving and James Harden. Who you going
James
with?
Harden.
Because they're both available.
Here's what's wild. I read a story the other day on ESPN. And we're going to bring it up. 'cause
Smell
I
of
don't think
sage
you
is
care.
not that bad. I'm just saying.
Sage smells nice.
Yeah.
I read a thing the other day because Kyrie Irving is going to become according to this ESPN Chiron here, Lonzo, an unrestricted free agent. So Kyrie will be, according to ESPN, an unrestricted free agent at 6 p.m. this evening.
Man, he's unrestricted.
All right, let me just make sure that unrestricted isn't actually a word. Okay, it's not. So anyway,
The question, the fact that you had to question that for a moment.
Well, I'm an idiot, so I like to make sure. I read a thing the other day.
I was unrestricted, man. Now I'm stricted.
Now I'm strict.
Now I'm straight up stricted.
Saying go to the strict club. So the piece I read the other day was that despite the repeated instances of drama that have followed Kyrie Irving basically everywhere he's gone in his entire NBA career at this point, apparently he is like one of the NBA, in terms of the players, favorite player. Apparently, guys in the league love Kyrie, like as a dude, which, all right, man, like whatever. Love who you love, do what you're going to do,
it's
fine.
The Uncle Drew thing, that is pretty entertaining. That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, when he's dressed up as Uncle Drew and shows up on the court and people don't know
It's
it's
not
him.
It's not bad. He's one of the league's favorite players, and I like. Apparently, he's so beloved that Bron's looking at trying to talk LA into signing him. We get another volume of the Kyrie and LeBron show.
Yeah, but we heard that last year. The thing is, if Kyrie was on that team, I think they go a little bit further than what they did.
I'm not disagreeing.
They went further than they should have.
I'm not disagreeing with that either. I mean, I don't know.
Denver still wins the whole thing, but maybe they're more competitive.
I don't know how much farther they could have gone. Texture says, I saw a story last night. Kyrie wants to join Durant and the Suns. So KD, Devin Booker.
Wait, how many times were they actually on the court when they were together? And where was it, Brooklyn?
I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Yeah, right. Could you imagine Durant following KD? It's not, I don't.
He does. Durant does follow KD. It's his burner account. That's how that works.
Why? Watch Phoenix end up with Kyrie, KD, and Harden. Be incredible. Run it back. What if they did run it back and it worked in Phoenix?
Well, then they can
How do you
blame.
feel as a Nets fan?
Yeah, then they can blame the coaching.
Yeah, if you're a Nets fan, you immediately are like, blow up the Barclays Center. We're done. Ladies and gentlemen, top of the hour break. When we come back, I actually did not intend to talk any NBA today, but here we are. When we come back, massive announcement for the entire station. We are jacked up about it. We're going to drop that info on you. When we come back, I'm Rob Lonzo. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Fan Upstate.
We're so jacked up. We're swole, bro.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. I bet Dwight Howard is texting him right now. Make a phone call. Be right back, guys.
So, Keegan, what do you want to talk about? What other sound clip can I find that will just completely annoy Rob? I'm willing to take suggestions, by the way. Oh, I just thought about it. I got to pull that Shivani thing. Yeah.
Celebrate Greenville's music scene every Thursday night at Piedmont Natural Gas Downtown Alive, presented by Clemson MBA. Join us for a free admission outdoor street party featuring live music in Noma Square. Piedmont Natural Gas Downtown Alive, Thursday evenings, March 16th through August 31st. Visit gmailevents.com for more info.
Hi, I'm Henry.
I kept it off of baseball for that entire hour. I don't know if I can continue to do it, though. I can only derail so much. I'm trying to get you guys what you asked for. You asked for only 25%. The jacket will be back in a moment. He had to leave the room for a moment. So just hang on, Luke. He'll be back guaranteed within another minute and a half. I hope. I also have a fine line of what I can play on the stream and what I can't. That's a good question, Keegan. They did get rid of some of those people, and then they hired Pat McAfee, famous for podcasts and other stuff.
There's a couple of things going on over there, Keegan. The first is podcasts are absolutely eating into the industry quite a bit. The second is they just refuse to put together a morning show to reach what Mike and Mike did back in the day.
Well, they tried to go the opposite, and it just didn't work.
It did not work.
Yeah.
Whole
lot of arrogance on that show. I'm just saying. That's, I mean, you should only have one arrogant guy. You can't have multiples because then it becomes friction eventually.
Yep.
Speak from experience. Luke says, there he is. He tuned in to see it. He tuned in to see it. See the jacket.
He is. You know what, Zoe? I just think about it. I've got like 4 cowboy hats. I'll bring one in. See, I'll bring the big one in. See if it fits you. You can just borrow it.
Yo, bring the big one
Bring the
in.
big one.
Oh, that hurt. That really hurt.
Am I going this jacket in all black? I think I am, right?
Damn, son, that is one compelling argument.
I like that.
I'll start building my library.
Hour numero dos. So the Rob Brown Show starts now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Fan Upstate. Howdy, y'all. Welcome in. Good to have you. I am Rob Brown. On the other side of the board, the professor of perfection, the sultan of swag, the content cash cow, the wizard of wave, the great one himself, Lonzo,
Damn, son, that is one compelling argument.
who has a new toy to play with. I opened the door for you to play the other clip, and you didn't walk through it.
You were talking about how great I was. That clip fit better
Yeah, that's
there.
fair.
I mean, confirmation. I don't even know who that guy is. Sounds like a guy from Office. It was someone from The Office, wasn't it?
Probably play it again.
It's that one dude, that one dude.
That
Damn,
one.
son, that is one compelling argument.
Oh, that's Ron Swanson. That's from Parks and Rec.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I get those shows mixed up. Which one's better?
It's it depends on what kind of mood you're in. I have tilted dramatically towards Parks and Rec recently, but
Is that the
The
one that
Office
Chris
is
Pratt's on?
it is.
Okay, I haven't watched that. Maybe I'll have to
Audrey
start.
Plaza's in it. Amy Poehler's in it. Rob Lowe is in it for like 4 seasons, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, Rob Lowe bothers me though, because he's the new Dick Clark. He doesn't age, and
That's on you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, Rob Lowe's like my age. So
And he looks.
yeah, so
I
that
was gonna say my age, but no, he doesn't.
yeah, so that starts to bother you after a while. Like, dude, is genetics? Is it work? What is it? I don't know.
He's a genetic freak.
He's
man.
one of them aliens.
He's a genetic freak. Him and Rick. We told you, ladies and gentlemen, that we have what I think
Wait. We got something to do right now.
we do. We have what I think is a pretty dope announcement to make. You guys know.
I don't know. After yesterday, you're talking about Coke. Now you're talking about a dope announcement. Probably not the best move. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't care what you do.
Tomorrow we're going to talk about our method of doing.
That's really good.
I
That's
don't know.
really good.
I don't know.
That's a good crack, Lonzo. All right.
Hold on, I got to turn this pot down.
That's good work. That's good work.
They're called potentiometers, by the way, for people not in the biz.
Just pots. Lonzo does pots all day. We have what I think is a pretty rad cool. It's a pretty cool announcement, dude. Bro.
Bro.
How about this? Ladies and gentlemen, you guys know that every August, the South Carolina Broadcasters Association hands out some crystal trophies and some paperwork to say you've done a pretty good job. And you know that Lonzo and I, 2 years ago, won Sports Talk Show of the Year. You know, the year right before that, Offsides with Mark Ryan won Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year. Well, I am here to announce to you that this August, the South Carolina Broadcasters Association will be handing out another crystal trophy for Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year. You ready for the best part of this announcement? No matter who wins, it comes back to this building. It comes back to this station. Because for these ceremonies, they bring the top two. They bring the top two to sit there in a puddle of anxiety, or maybe that's just me, to see who won.
Depends. I'll probably take care of that for you. I'll
Not
take it
that kind of
possibly.
puddle,
So,
but
well,
okay.
what other puddle is there? I mean, did you spill
Sweat,
your?
man.
Oh,
Sweat.
I thought maybe
You
you
got to sweat it out.
spilt your drink or something.
So, no matter who wins Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year this year, the trophy comes back to this building because the top two sports talk shows in South Carolina, according to the South Carolina Broadcasters Association, are the Rob Brown Show and Offsides with Mark Ryan.
All right, and let me explain how this works. We've already won. You either get the big trophy or the one that's a little bit smaller. It's the Merit Trophy, but we've already won. So it's not one of those you go and you come away empty-handed. So the fact that we're on that list, we've already won. But we want to win-win. But the station in the end, there's only been 1 year the station did not have that trophy, and that
by
was
the
last
way,
year.
All four of us were infuriated by
Yes.
that. All four of us were infuriated by that.
this station has owned that category for
Years
for
now.
like a decade.
Yeah.
And the fact that last year we're out of it, it just made everybody hungry. And so we really worked for it. And now the entire station is nominated. Cannot wait to go there in my cowboy regalia.
Yeah, the theme of the dinner is hoedown.
Hoe down. And usually we try to I went as a mime one year. Whatever the theme is, I'm gonna do that. And so we're working on getting me a cowboy hat. I want a duster. Probably won't get one, but I got should I wear Spurs? I do not have cowboy boots. I'm also, because I don't need them and I will never wear them.
You need a pair of boat.
And
kickers,
as
man.
I was told, you're not going out and buying cowboy boots to wear one time.
You are now.
No, that would be the one thing I would do. So I am willing to. I'm a little worried about wearing a secondhand hat, but I don't mind wearing secondhand shoes. So I might be able to find some cowboy boots at a secondhand store.
Y'all gonna get to see the lead singer of Rob's Hat come around August. All right. Let me say this.
Do we wear 6-shooters? Because I'm not sure that would be.
UNC Chris said, please go as Boss Hog and Roscoe.
It's not that kind of hoedown.
So let me
I'm going as Hoss from Ponderosa.
I'm just going as Clint Eastwood. I'm gonna find a poncho. No, I'm not. I'm wearing this jacket.
Ooh, you know what? That is a good alternative to the duster.
You can get a poncho.
I can rock the poncho, but it's good. Do you put frills on it? That's not
Yeah,
cultural
it's Clint
appropriation, is it? If you put frills on, I
You're the
don't
bad
know.
and the ugly. Let me say, ladies
Which
and
one am
gentlemen,
I?
that I am proud as hell. I really am. I am proud as hell because it went from Mark winning one, me winning one, and plenty of incredible hosts who have been on these mics.
Or you could look
before.
at it as Mark and Lonzo winning one, and then Rob and Lonzo. I just want to, it's a team thing, and he's going to
I'm
talk
gonna
on.
have to put
No,
butter on the doors
no,
to get your head out.
no. Hold on. It's already large enough. It can't get any bigger. You're doing all this talking, which is great. It really is. I'm so thrilled and excited. I couldn't sleep last night because I'm back, baby. But Rob is missing out the biggest thing of all. Rob Brown is nominated for Sportscaster of the Year. Yeah, we are nominated as a show, and we should be. But Rob Brown is nominated as Sportscaster of the Year, and he has a major uphill battle because the guy he's going up against,
He's won it
He's-
all the time.
he has never lost.
Really.
He has never lost.
I'm up against a dynasty.
You
I'm
are.
up against the Tom Brady of South Carolina
As
sportscasters.
far as I know, he may have lost one time to someone that was here.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the guy. And I'm talking about Rob Brown is the guy, not that other guy in Columbia. No, we're talking about Rob Brown, Sportscaster of the Year. So yes, the Rob Brown Show and Offsides with Mark Ryan were both nominated, and we're going to bring home some hardware, guaranteed. But Rob Brown is nominated for Sportscaster of the Year. And believe it or not, humble enough to not talk about himself first, because I think it is a major feat. There was reluctance and worry about making that submittance. I don't know the word. Submission. Yeah, that's it. I'm just too excited. But Rob is nominated for Sportscaster of the Year. He probably was going to just pass over and not mention that, but he is. And that is the coolest part of the whole thing. So we're going to go to Columbia. Rob's hat is playing Columbia.
Irmo.
We're going to Irmo first. We might hit Lugoff and some Elgin, and then maybe Lugoff, Elgin. Maybe we'll just play the border, like Florida Georgia line. Rob's hat at
That's our new
Lugoff, Elgin.
name, Irmo Columbia line.
Yeah. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to win some hardware, and then the after party, as the kids say, is going to be lit.
I am going to say with all sincerity, I cannot tell you guys how friggin' proud I am and how badass I think it is. The fact that no matter who wins the SCBA Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year Award, that trophy comes to our house.
And it's not just about the trophy. It goes down in the annals.
The annals.
Spell that however you want. of the South Carolina
You're
Broadcasters
gonna tweet me,
Association.
there are 2 N's in that word.
Yeah, we don't care how you spell it. You know what? Go ahead and text Annals to 71307.
Spell it how you want. Let's get
Yes,
weird.
spell it however you want.
No matter who wins this thing,
That's Bill Frady on now. He'll think it's hilarious.
the Fan Upstate will in 2023 have its name written down in the SCBA record book alongside Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year. Not only the Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year, but the Merit Award as well. Merit Award means this, like you were right there. This is it. These are the top 2. It's gold and silver, right? It's incredible, man. Like, we have put a ton of work into growing this station, into making sure that we are bringing local content that you guys care about, that you guys want, that you guys listen to, that you guys are happy with. But I will also say that this is an award that is not voted on by listeners. This is a vote that is voted on by our peers. And I'm not trying to make this sound any kind of certain way, but nobody scrutinizes radio harder than radio. We are constantly critiquing and criticizing and evaluating and changing, because if you don't, you die, right? If you don't, you die. And now, 3 out of 4 years, the Best Sports Talk Radio Show Award belongs to the Fan Upstate, and it is guaranteed to belong to us this year. So let me just say, I am proud as hell of Diesel and Mark Ryan for the work they have continued to put in to grow Offsides, and it has grown exponentially. I am proud as hell of the work that Lonzo and I have put in to make sure that this show is what you guys want it to be every single day. And I am proud as hell that coming up in August, the South Carolina Broadcasters Association, which is made up of radio dudes and dudettes from around the state, judges from around the state, and if I recall correctly, a couple from outside the state to maintain some neutrality, listened to the submissions of these 2 shows and said these 2 shows are the 2 best shows in the state, both on the same station, and they're up against each other. Listen, we would all be liars, the 4 of us, if we said we don't really care if our show wins or the other one does. Of course we want to win. Of course we want to win. Of course Mark and Diesel want to win. But I will tell you with all sincerity, I don't care who does I do want to win. But I am more elated by the fact that the best 2 shows in this state, according to people who work in this industry, and by the way, if you're voting on this, you've been in the game a while. This is not something that they just poll randos and go, hey, overnight show on a 10-watt signal out in the middle of nowhere. These are people who have been in this game for a very, very long time, listened to the 2 local shows on this station, and said these are the 2 best shows in the game. I am beyond proud of that. We have put in a heck of a lot of work, the 4 of us that are on the air, as well as the folks who step in and fill the gaps when we are out. The Tim Holcombs, the T2s, the Robs, the Brandons, the folks behind the scenes that bust their behinds to make sure that these shows air and these shows get where they need to be, have put in a ton of work to get us not where we want to be, but where we are now, which is to me something to be proud of. So to me, I could not be more proud of the fact that no matter who wins that trophy comes back to our house.
It's very awesome. And I've been here a couple of times when it was like that, when both shows were nominated before all you guys got here. And it was, it's cool walking in knowing that the station wins no matter what. It really is. It takes the pressure off of you to a degree. And yeah, Rob's right. You do want to win. But if we don't win the top prize and Mark and Diesel do, good for them.
Let's put it this
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Let's put it this way. We want to win.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of our submission. You know, we keep putting off playing it. Maybe next hour. I mean, you know,
I'm down for it. It's
okay.
already in now. They can't take it back.
Yeah. So our reluctance to play it, at least my reluctance to play it, is I wanted to see if it was nominated or not. And if it wasn't, then I don't think it was good enough to be on the air. And it was.
And it is.
And it is. Yes.
Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. We want to win. We want to win every year. I was infuriated last year.
Say, dude, you listen to a sports show because you're competitive. Of course you want to win.
We want to win. We were infuriated last year by this, to the point that for those of you that have followed us on the stream all this time, Facebook.com/TheFanUpstate, Twitter.com/TheFanUpstate, The Fan Upstate on YouTube, or The Rob Brown Show on Twitch. For those of you that have followed the show, you know that there has been hanging in the window behind me on the stream for the last year and 2 months. There's been a red sequin jacket. The reason that red sequin jacket has been hanging there for a year and 2 months is because that jacket got purchased to wear to last year's ceremony. Because Lonzo and I were going. We didn't get invited. We didn't even get on the podium last year. So I brought that jacket and I hung it on that window right behind me where it is currently not hanging because I'm wearing it. And I hung that jacket on the window, not because it made a great backdrop for the stream. It did. I hung that jacket in the window so that when I opened the door every single day to walk into the studio to do my show, when I opened the door to the studio, it was the first thing I saw. Not any of the signs, not any of the banners, not the mics, not the equipment, not the gear, not the flags. I hung that thing right there so that when I opened the door to the studio every single day, it was a reminder of the failure of last year, which I put squarely and entirely on me. It was a failure last year. We were not going to accept it again. I hung that jacket there and vowed not to wear it until we knew that we were going back to get more hardware. And now we do. Now we are. And not only are we going, but sitting at the table next to us are going to be our colleagues, our peers, our partners in crime, Diesel and Mark Ryan. I want to win. They're going to want to win. But here's what I'll say. Zoe, if we're not going to win, that's who I want to lose to. Right? If we are not going to win, that's who I want to be second place to. And not a damn other show in this entire state. And there's some good ones.
I think there are certain questions about certain aspects of certain parts of this situation that require an evaluation about whether or not this is or is not a valid argument.
Extremely well put.
All right. Wasn't what I thought it was, but that's fine. That's fine. It works. No, I agree. I'm so excited. Not only is the Fan Upstate nominated, but some other, we got nominations throughout the building. So we go as a family up there, a radio family. Odyssey is going to be well represented by the best talent in the entire state. And we're going to troll the TV people because that's what you do.
Oh, yeah.
So let me give you a little bit of inside. TV and radio people don't really mix. It's kind of a, a click thing, I guess. I think it's more on the TV side than it is the radio side because radio people will, for the most part, we'll get along with anybody.
People.
We'll get along with anybody, but TV people, they're the pretty people. And so our outfits, at least mine, are usually to troll the TV people. So I am so glad that we're getting a hoedown this year. And I can't wait to see if any TV people are going to hoe down. Now, here's a question. Do Rob and I, when we're on the stage, do we do a little hoe down? When we go up to accept the hardware.
Fall on the floor?
No, we do a hoedown.
Oh, okay.
Hoedown.
No, I'm doing the same thing I said I'm always going to do.
You
You are getting the loudest Ric Flair woo I can give to the whole damn room. The whole room.
I might have to yeehaw because I'm gonna be wearing be wearing a cowboy hat. You got to pull that thing off and yeehaw. I'm also curious about Southern necktie. What do you think?
A bolo.
Yeah, you think?
You got to go bolo.
Yeah, but
I'm here for it.
I've got some white in the beard. I don't want to look like Colonel Sanders. So, I mean, I'm a little concerned about that, you know. And can you cut yourself with spurs? So I don't know. And wearing spurs in Columbia is how you should go. So, I mean, you know, South Carolina Gamecocks, Spurs. Did you not?
I'm coming in as JBL.
Are you?
I'm just coming as JBL. I've decided JBL in a red sequin jacket.
I bet Steve's got a car like that. You think?
100%.
You think? Maybe you give us a ride in that car with the big Longhorn steer thing on the front.
I cannot tell you how over the moon I am about this. I mean, yes, that Lonzo has once again worked his witchcraft and put together one of the best pieces of audio we've ever had. But on top of the fact that we are going,
I'm a wizard.
We are going
I'm a wizard, Rob.
alongside
Rob, I'm a wizard.
Our colleagues, alongside our friends, alongside our coworkers, Offsides with Mark Ryan. That trophy comes back to this building no matter who wins it. And I will tell you, and I say this with 1,000% sincerity. I got zero motive to smack talk. None. Because I am proud as hell. If I lose to that show, to Offsides,
all right. I want to talk smack to the people who were nominated last year. Now you know how it feels, punks.
No,
we're back where we belong.
I am not going to talk smack between the two shows because these two shows are the best two shows in the state, according to people who do the shows in the state. I don't care who wins. If they win, I will beam like we did because it comes back to this house. If we win, there will be no smack talk because I know that we went up against the best and walked out, and I'll be thrilled about it. I am friggin' proud of what this station has been, is becoming, the direction it's going, and this to me, more importantly than an ego award, more importantly than anything else, this award tells me that this station is pointed way in the right direction. Not only way in the right direction, but full speed ahead in that direction. Congratulations to Mark Ryan and Diesel, who absolutely deserve this nomination. I am proud that Zoe and I are getting back there. I am honored and humbled. And I don't say those words often because I'm not humble. I'm awesome. Look at me. But I am honored and humbled to even be considered in the Sportscaster of the Year category. Do I want to win? You damn right I do. But I'm honored to even be considered for that award as well. Y'all, we're doing big things. And we're doing it in the right direction. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will get away from patting ourselves on the back.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
I will, and here's why. I don't believe in jinx, right? But I'm not gonna talk a bunch of smack until August rolls around because I'm not doing that to us.
You know, talking about something and talking smack, two totally different things. I'm pumped.
So let's be real. Nominated Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year alongside the other show on the station. It's pretty friggin' awesome.
There's still gonna be some stares across the table. Before that announcement. Come on.
Sitting there with my forehead in my salad, like, oh,
yeah,
God,
as nervous as you were last time. Yeah, I could see that. He is not a quiet, nervous person.
Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break. Joey B says, "Take your hat off and roll the eyes back, Undertaker style."
Yeah, he's talking to me.
I like that.
I mean, you know, and I depending on what kind of hat I get.
That's what we go as JBL and Undertaker. Done. Old school Undertaker.
Why not?
Like Undertaker.
Yeah, I don't know. That requires makeup, I think.
My name is Rob Brown. He's Lonzo. We are no worse than second place in the 2022 Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year Awards. We're back after this on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
Tables.
All right, guys, got a live read right here. Stay right back, and we will laugh more.
Carolina Springs, Rear Golf, Links of
All right, we back.
Grab your Forza and
Skrilla, welcome back, buddy.
State Golf Card.
Trey, I will never forget, amigo. I will never forget.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry. Inconceivable!
It's time we talk away the dark. Learn how to spot the warning signs for suicide and how you can have a conversation to help save lives.
20-something years, you have stuff stored in your files.
However, I do have the mics on, so I don't want us to get flagged. And
Well, if we do, it's my fault.
I don't care whose fault it is.
What am I doing here?
Is that Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life?
All right, you're killing me here that you don't know who Pinky is from Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, that was Pinky. It sounded like Rocco. I know. I very well know who is Pinky from Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah, ain't nobody believe you.
It's a lot of nonsense.
Zoinks! That was more Shaggy than it was
That's
Pinky,
Shaggy.
but you get it. You know, so I've said many years that my goal is to get really rich. And it's not just because I want a bunch of money. And let me make it very clear that I absolutely do. It is because I want to be able to pay people to do things in my life, right? All right, that sounded terrible. Let me keep going. One of the things that I want to be able to pay people to do in my life is I want to pay somebody to follow me around with a boombox and play walk-in music every time I enter a room. I got a sneaky suspicion that when we walk into that room, I might just have to bring the Bluetooth speaker and play that. 444 life.
Because you know what? The thing about the NWO thing is you cannot walk into a room with that playing and not strut. There's a certain feeling to it
Nope.
that you just got to be like, I am the
Boat.
the baddest person in this room, sir.
We are the boat. And we know it. And you know it.
All right, Tommy says, dibs on Boombox guy. I will take that paycheck.
Well, right now it ain't much of one, but I'm working on it. Working on it. No, what if we just have the boys from the band come up and play us live into that room? Don't
Remember,
set
hey,
it
keep
up.
in mind if it if it is what it was last time we were there, and there's a
Yeah.
there's a DJ.
Oh,
There's a DJ.
I got extra cash, homie.
I don't think you have to pay him cash. You go up and
Hey,
say,
dude,
hey,
can
man.
you play the Degeneration X theme?
yeah, but do we play it if we don't win?
No, you got to play walking in, right?
No, I meant walking up.
That's a good call. That's a good call. We do get walk-up music on the stage after they announce it, right?
Right. Yes.
If we win, and only if we win, need you to drop this track for me. I'm not above asking. Will we be the first people in the history of the awards to ask for their own walk-up music?
No. I mean, some of those guys, somebody there had to hire that guy, and they probably know that guy or girl. Could be a girl. What do we play if we lose, though? I'm sorry. So sorry.
Oh man.
Now we all win. So it's but we do want to win still.
Everybody's gonna win.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna win. We're
Yeah.
walking up out of here with the Fan Upstate bringing home show of the year.
By the way, I'm not real good at approaching people and just asking them things. So I'll just remind you when we get there and you can go talk to them. Because I know you'll do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Let's see. All right, we got a bunch of texts that have come in so far. Texter says Alonso is firing on all cylinders today. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. I have got.
I'm your Huckleberry.
We talked. Were you on the show the day we talked about whether he says Barry or Bear?
Yes, Rob. I'm
thought so.
almost always on the show.
Well, I know, but it's very. It's
Unless,
a very random
unless I'm in the hospital or on vacation. Okay.
Exactly. Texas said y'all need to live stream the awards show for all your listeners.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll allow that. I don't think anyone's tried it before.
Only in trouble if you get caught.
Dude, we can live stream our table.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. We can live stream our table.
We might do it with just for that category. You know.
No, because I mean, well, do you guys want to see the look of disappointment on
my face,
on someone's face when one of the four, well, two of the four of us don't win? Oh, we're all winners. I mean, because we're there.
Texture says, congrats on the accomplishment, guys. However, would Lonzo accept the sports trophy if it was a silver Tom Brady shaped piece of hardware?
You know what? I would, and then I'd immediately throw it in Lake Hartwell.
Texture says, there is no failure in sports. Signed, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know what? And I say this sincerely. There's a moral victory in this, no matter who walks away. Sorry, a morale victory in this.
It's not that I don't understand your perspective. It's just that your perspective is dumb.
No, it really comes down to the mentality that was put forth in the wonderful classic movie known as Highlander. There can be only one. And that's really what it comes down to. We want to win. If we don't, we will congratulate our compatriots from the afternoon on their victory. But no matter what, the Fan Upstate has already won.
There is, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
we all going to look good.
We
I
really
got
are.
to point that out.
We
We all
really
going to look
are.
good.
There is, ladies and gentlemen, a moral victory to be had here. And that moral victory is the fact that, as mentioned, we all won. The station won.
Most impressive.
The Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year award comes back.
I'm going to stop.
To us.
I'm getting into Jim Rome territory. I don't want to do that because it's a little annoying.
Yeah, you got to be careful. We can't infringe on the gimmick, man.
Here's what's going to happen. Okay, Rob can no longer pause, or he's, when I get it, there's going to be a what? Because I will get that, and I'm also going to get a yeah.
Yeah. Dummy. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. Again, super happy, super proud, honored, humbled, all the good stuff.
See, he said we weren't going to talk about it, but he had to read the text, and texts are congratulatory, and we appreciate that. People are also congratulating us on the stream, and make sure that you send some congratulations to the other show when they get on the air later
100%.
on. Tell them how proud you are of them, like we
100%.
are.
Texas says, screw the starting 11. You couldn't have done it without me. I'm the number one starting water boy. Chomp, chomp. Well done. Texas said, Texter said, one of the players for the Patriots said he understands rules are rules, but he can risk his life for his team. I don't think we've risked our lives doing radio, but I like the sentiment.
I think Joe in the stream is right. Ray is down bad right now.
Ray is
He
down
is.
bad right now.
He is not, for all the texts and emails and things about how bad the show is. Eat it, Ray. Eat it, Ray.
Ray is in his feels right now. There ain't no doubt.
I don't know what it is, Ray, but eat it.
Dude, so I'm thrilled, man. I'm thrilled. It's awesome. I'm honored. I'm thrilled. I think it's fantastic. And again, sarcasm aside, there's exactly zero chance we're able to do any of this without you guys listening, participating, subscribing, spreading the good word. So thank all of you, for real.
Yes.
Couldn't have done this without
some of our best moments is because of something that you've said on the text line or on stream, that's taking us in a direction we didn't plan to go in.
100%. Without a doubt. I would say most of our good stuff is because of that, without a doubt. So,
And the rest of it comes from me. So there you go.
I'm not even against giving Lonzo credit for that. I'm not. It is. It's all Zoe, and then also I'm here. Let's roll with it. All right. We should probably stop patting ourselves on the back and get to some damn
Why?
sports.
I'm
Yeah?
some straight up Champa here, man. Except for I can't reach back there because I'm so swole.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. The most interesting texter says, if you win, say nothing else except when is the parade, and then no, I have to go home. Texter said, LOL Ray, go touch grass. That's a Gen Z insult, and I'm here for it. The most interesting race in NASCAR is going to take place this weekend. It is the 74th anniversary of NASCAR's first strictly stock division, what is now known as the Cup Series. Since then, there have been 2,696 races on ovals and roadways of dirt, asphalt, concrete. And now we get one unlike any ever before. Why? Because the boys of NASCAR will be spinning a race through Chicago, Illinois. We've talked about road courses in NASCAR in the past. We have talked about road races and how it kind of forces some new stuff. This is the first time ever that NASCAR will run a true street course. Michigan Avenue, Lakeshore Drive, other roads through downtown, around downtown Chicago. These cars are not made for this, ladies and gentlemen, but that's exactly what they're doing this weekend. And it's going to be very, very interesting. They are having to put special mufflers on the exhaust system so that they're not so that they're not driving the residents of Chicago, Illinois to up and move somewhere else. They are putting special tires on there. They are worried about the wear and tear on the roads. They are worried about regular street asphalt underneath the incredible heat that these vehicles put off. And despite all of these concerns, all of these issues, all of these question marks, I want you to know I don't care. Give me this race. I'm begging you. It's going to be incredible. Jenson Button is an F1 superstar, made 16 starts in the Monaco Grand Prix, including a win during his 2009 World Championship season. He will be racing as a ringer in the Cup Series this weekend because...
Wait. As a ringer?
As a ringer.
What's a ringer?
Somebody you bring in for one particular event because they are an ace at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like a pool shark.
Kind of, yeah. So like in this case, a lot of these teams that are basically a team fielding a low-level car and they're going for driver's points, or excuse me, for owner's points, not driver's points, will bring in somebody who is a specialist at any particular sort of track. So when they ran dirt at Bristol a couple of weeks ago, a couple of the low-level teams would bring up guys who were still cutting their teeth as excellent dirt track racers. Well, if you're going to run a city street course, as they are this weekend, go grab you an F1 driver. That's what F1 guys do. This is the kind of track they run. This is his second Cup Series. He got asked in the press conferences this week, why is NASCAR running a street race? And his answer was, Lonzo, and I quote, why not? Yes. I love it.
This is NASCAR, right?
This is NASCAR.
So it's more like, why not?
No, he's an F1 driver. It's more like
That's why I asked. That's why. Yeah. There
why
you go.
not?
There you go.
It seems like a wonderful idea.
You poor peasant. Why ask me that question?
He is from England, by the way. So he 100% said, why not? Seems like a good idea. I think it's wonderful. He did go on to say, I think it's great that they're trying, I think it's great that they're willing to attract something different. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's one race on the calendar. That's it to me, right? This is not forcing an issue. This is not forcing a race that nobody wants. This is, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if it works. And if it works, awesome. We start putting more of these onto the circuit in the future. And if it doesn't work, if it goes poorly for whatever reason, then we never do it again. I have told you guys that I love gimmicks in sports. It makes them more interesting and entertaining. Now, I'm not saying that I think the NFL every year should play one game where you're not allowed to run, right? Like I'm not talking about a gimmick that impacts the sports itself. I'm saying a gimmick that makes it more entertaining. Hey, all 30 cars have got to run this track. They all got to run the same race with the same equipment. They all have to do it. I'm all in, man. The dirt race was great. The super speedways are great. And now we get to see if these big booming cars can handle quick rights and lefts through a city street. I think it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this hour. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. This is the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate. As much fun as I'm wearing, I do have to lose.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh,
That's
no, I'm
it,
taking the
too.
jacket off.
Oh, okay. My bad. I was gonna say I don't have time to fix it. I gotta go. It's a short break. Why are you putting it back up, man? You can take it home.
Hot, man.
We'll take it home.
Nope, stays up here till I wear it.
Clemson on the men's side, they are going to travel to Alabama. This game is scheduled for Tuesday, November 28th. Clemson 8-4 all time against Bama, while Clemson women's basketball, they will head to Auburn.
I do got to lose some LBs before August, y'all. That is official. All right, give me 30 seconds. Be right back. That was actually 20 seconds. You're welcome.
Just want to see your name twice.
I got to thank the people who got me here.
I would like to thank my dog. I'd like to thank my gerbil. I'd like to thank Miss Jackson for being nasty.
For being so real.
Someone called and was congratulatory towards us and disappointed that someone else got nominated. So, I mean,
I'm not. I'm freaking thrilled about it.
so it's like when you go through life and you never win anything, and then you win something, and it just feels so good. Oh, the nervousness is the fun part, though, because you're still going to be.
Yourself, buddy.
No. I was being sarcastic. Extremely nervous every single time. I just don't want to let Steve down.
That's it.
That's what it is. So I don't want to let Steve down.
That's it.
Also, do you like it when other people can't go or don't go, so you have to go up multiple times to receive all their awards?
Are you kidding me?
And it looks like you did everything? If that happens, I'm sending Holcomb up every time because he doesn't appear to like going up there. Although you got him to do something last time. What'd you get him to do? I forget. Oh, you got him to turn. I think he turned. You got him to do it.
Texas said, what's your over-under of wrecks on this race? I actually think, I don't think you're going to have a lot of guys get DNFs because of accidents. You're going to have a couple. You're going to have a couple of guys because, and if you're interested, you can go to ESPN. They got a really cool article about this up on the front page right now, up to and including they actually brought in an F1 vet to drive the course virtually so you can actually see it from the car's perspective and the driver's perspective. It's going to be really interesting because this is not even like any of the road courses that have been run so far, right? It's a road course in that it turns left and right, but you've got a different substance on the ground. This is a different kind of surface than these guys are used to running on. There's probably going to be a lot less traction, which is fine when you get in the straights. Here's the thing. The longest straight on the course is only like a third of a mile, right? The longest straight on this course is not even a half a mile. It's that short. And you keep in mind, these boys turn 13, 14, 15-second circles at Bristol, which is a half a mile. That's it. That's the longest straight. Everything else is turns. In, out, left, right. Some are very sharp. 90 degrees right, then 90 degrees back left. Some of them are hairpin. So you're going to get a few early out of the gate when these guys are bunched up. You're also going to get a few from guys who get on the brakes way late. We see that every year, right? We see that at Sonoma. These guys get on the brakes way late. And those cars are not only moving, but they're heavy. So all of a sudden, dude locks up the brakes and he slides into the grass. Well, here's the problem. Unlike Sonoma, this is downtown Chicago. There is no grass to slide into. If you overpower through a turn and you slide off the track, you're in the wall, pal. You're done, right? Because while these cars are powerful and heavy, they're fragile. The bodywork is fragile to keep them as light as possible. So I think you'll see a couple of spins early when everybody's bunched up because a lot of guys have never driven a track like this before. And you can simulate it all you want on an Xbox, but it's not like driving the real thing. I think you'll see a couple later in the race when guys have spun this track 30, 45 times and they're starting to get worn down. They're starting to get tired. You'll see a couple of guys meant to make a mental slip and put themselves into the wall. I'll say 7.5. I'll set the over-under at 7.5. I'll tell you this. It's going to be fun. I love gimmicks in sports. Speaking of, did you watch the match last night? I know you went and watched Indy. Did you come home and check out the end of the match? Or did you do the late flick?
It was over by the time I got home. So when you sent me the text last night, I was actually on the way back home from watching the movie, which was 2 hours and 40 minutes. You throw in trailers, it's like 3 hours. So, I mean, you know.
Fair enough. It was
I meant to record it. I do know that the champs were disrespected, so they came out and they did what they had to do.
By the way, Steph Curry is a 1 handicap. I mean, he shoots 1 over par on average. A 1. And Mahomes and Kelsey got disrespected. And so they came out and won the damn thing. Didn't just win, beat them.
I wish I had the guts to do what Kelsey does after, I mean, the dancing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well,
I want to be that guy. You are that guy. I want to be that guy. I'm never going to be that guy.
You can be that guy in August.
No, I can't. Depends on who's there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's going to be great. The match was good last night. The NASCAR race. Look at me comparing NASCAR and golf. Man, that's why we're nominated, baby. Rob Lonzo, you 1 hour left. We do it next on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate.
So I have it ready if you want to play it. You've already forgotten.
Oh, the Star Wars entry? Well, we can't play it on the stream, right? Or we just go for it?
We're going for it.
Okay.
We got less of a chance of being flagged for that than we do everything else I was
Yeah,
playing
that's true.
earlier. So
That's true.
let's just see if we actually have whitelisted drops. Whitelisted means it's you can play it on stream, by the way. And I'm guessing when yours starts working that you'll have totally different things than I do. So
I don't know. There was going to definitely be some Parks and Rec in there, and you're already off on the Parks and Rec bandwagon.
well, I have a bunch of cuts that I got for another show and never used them. And some I did because Darth Vader's good no matter what station you're on.
Mm-hmm. Gatorade Zero, pardon me. Sugar-free Gatorade.
I'm glad you convinced everyone. And yes, you're going to hear it in the next segment. But the thing is, you guys were here. You've heard all this. So you're just hearing a recap of what you've already heard. Like put the music. That's all.
This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. It helps qualify consumers with over
Yes, Stephen, it was a work.
rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during the
But I couldn't say on the air, you know what, Stephen, I'm not playing it in case we're not nominated. I couldn't say that because that just doesn't sound right. But that was my reasoning. Because if it wasn't good enough to to get us there, then it wasn't good enough to play for you guys. But it did and it is, so we will. The Dondayers? What? I believe she said vamonos.
Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
I'm here with Travis Betts, owner of CNT Foundations. Hey, Gary. Does life seem
Hey, Gary.
peaceful these days? Yeah, there's a lot going on.
What you doing, boy?
And the last thing you need is the stress of foundation problems compromising the value of your home. At CNT, we're not only foundation repair experts, we're stress reducing experts. So if you have a foundation problem, don't worry.
Let's see who's hosting this year. Did it say on there? Cherie was hosting when we were there last, wasn't she? Yeah. Tara has hosted before.
No. It was
Wasn't?
not Cherie. It was two young cats.
Oh, okay.
It was from I want to say they were from like a pop station in Charleston or something.
And it's very rare that the people emceeing that their stuff works. It's so weird, isn't it? You can do really well on the radio and get on stage in front of
It's a
everybody, and
different-
it's just like,
environment, yeah.
but it is a more, I don't want to say discerning, maybe discerning, but a more critical audience. So
100%.
so if you hit in that audience, you've done something really good. Obviously, you heard me commenting, so it gets me too, Josh. It's all I can do. Do not make fun of things while we're on stream. Sometimes I lose my restraint.
The third, the final, the best, the money hour of the Rob Brown Show goes now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Fan Upstate. I am Rob Brown. The great one, Lonzo, at the ones and twos today, making the show sound as good as it does this day and every day. And of course, without you guys, we would just be two weirdos screaming at each other in a box. So we are ever so grateful to y'all.
It's a big box, though.
It's a big box.
Don't
Nonetheless.
don't go somewhere that's kind of weird, okay?
You are on one today. So, you guys have asked multiple times.
I'm on a high called life, Rob. I'm on an excitement trip. I'm on that place where winners go.
Dope. So you guys have asked, well, a couple of you guys have asked if we would play.
All right, Steven, okay? Let's point it out. It's been Steven every day. When you going to play this? When you going to play this?
Has been a couple of others, but some of y'all have asked if we would play the submission that we put together for the South Carolina Broadcasters Association. If you missed our announcement at the beginning of the last hour, we are humbled. We are honored as Lonzo and I have been named one of the two finalists for the 2022-23 South Carolina Broadcasters Association Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year. And not only did we get named a finalist, the other finalist was named as well. The other finalist, of course, is Offsides with Mark Ryan, which means that no matter who wins the 2022-23 Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year award, that crystal trophy is coming back to our house. Jacked up.
So most days it's good to be us. Today it's
great.
Yeah, it is. It
great.
It definitely is.
No matter
It's
who
great.
wins this trophy, the Fan Upstate wins this trophy. And that's awesome. We still both want to win it for our own shows. But you better believe we're hitting that SEC chant. Fan Upstate, Fan Upstate, to claim conference superiority.
All right. We're not going.
Fan Upstate.
We're not doing
Fan
that.
Upstate.
We are not doing that. No.
But some of you guys have asked to hear the submission that the Wizard of Wave put together, and he has said we can do it now. Why? Because it got us named a finalist. If it didn't, he wasn't going to play.
All right. So I don't believe in jinxes. I don't believe in superstition and all that stuff. Even though, Stevie Wonder sang about it. It's an awesome song. I don't want to play something that wasn't going to win. And it did. So it's either going to get the big award or the merit award, but it did win. So now I'm willing to play it.
All right.
And I've been accused of it being a work, me not playing it. And it absolutely was a work.
It was.
I am the heel of this show.
It was.
Rob wants to be, but it's me.
So with that being said, ladies and
It
gentlemen,
was always me, Rob.
For the 3 to 6 of y'all that asked, here is the incredible submission put together by the great one for this year's Star Award ceremony.
Man, check this out.
Your unofficial Rob Brown lockdown.
Represents being real. Yeah.
The
Unfiltered sports talk. Manufactured locally for the Carolinas.
Locked down!
This is the Rob Brown Show.
Get robbed!
Only on
The Fan Upstate.
Shane Beamer, head coach of the South Carolina Gamecock football program, joining us here on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. Can you talk to us a little bit about what stood out about Dow Loggins that made him your guy?
He's somebody that I've known for a long time. I first met him when I was here as an assistant coach at South Carolina, and he was coaching with the Tennessee Titans, and have got to know him on a personal level and have visited him with different NFL teams and watched him coach and know what kind of person he is. And when I talked to a lot of players that he coached, like Alshon Jeffrey and Connor Shaw, and so many things came back that were positive about him.
Orlovsky said, Lonzo, and I quote, "Crispy bacon is bacon in its best form." Wrong. Hashtag Team Floppy Bacon forever.
I prefer bacon as it was intended to be made, fully cooked. This is one of those conversations I'm glad we never had in the office. I'm glad this is taking place on the air.
So that you can display to the world how wrong you are about bacon. I respect that.
Sports talk for real sports fans.
The Rob Brown Show.
If you are going to go front page and tell one of the largest college football podcasters in America that another team's NIL collective offered one of your stars $1 million to transfer schools, and you're not willing to name the school, the collective, or the player, then I don't believe you. If you're not willing to say who done it, when they done it, why they done it, and who they done it to, then your story is irrelevant. It has no point. Oh, this terrible thing happened. All right, when? I don't want to tell you. Where? I don't want to tell you. Who did it? I don't want to tell you. Who they do it to? I don't want to tell you. Then why do I care?
The guy who's running the show said WCW's in town. Who would you like to interview? And I said Tony Schiavone, but he wouldn't let me ask any questions. So 20-something years later, now I get the chance. And the only question I can think of right away is why the earring?
Lonzo, it's one of those three-quarter life crisis things. You just think, yeah, I'm going to do it. What the hell? To top that off, I also, in this midlife crisis, got 2 tattoos. I got one with a Superman logo right there.
Look at him.
I'm just going all crazy.
I feel like at this point, like I might be Tony Schiavone in the future. My man's got Superman tattoos, a dog in a dirt cave, and talks about wrestling for a living. Best life ever. Don Munson joining us here on the Rob Brown Show, the Fan Upstate, talking a little Clemson Tiger football. We had DJ on yesterday, and we've had multiple players on from Clemson over the past couple of years. And one thing that always seems to come up is that family concept. And has that bond been tested or fortified based on what's happened last year?
This Clemson family that you're talking about, it's real on campus. And again, it started when Dabo took over midway through the 08 season. Somebody asked me here yesterday, what's your favorite Daboism? And to this day, it's still the all-in concept that he had. Because that all-in concept reverberated among the football team, and then it started reverberating actually across campus. It's kept on rippling out. It's real. I love it.
Moral victory is a stat.
No, but there's a lot of stats we don't keep. Moral
Yeah,
victory.
we got beat by 35, but we tried really hard. Good for you.
I think some people will often use moral victories as an excuse for not working harder to achieve actual victories, right? Like, yeah, well, we didn't win, but, we did this right and this right and this right.
Morals have nothing to do with it.
I understand your objection to the use of the word moral in the phrase moral victory. I think that is jingoistic. Like, I don't think anybody is leaving talking about a moral victory from the standpoint of, we did the right thing, everybody. I think moral victory, that's why I wouldn't be opposed to switching up the terminology to calling it a morale victory.
The Rob Brown Show, now 9 to noon.
There was a little bit of a dust up with another SEC coach who talked about the dancing and the glasses, but that to me has been something that genuinely shined about you and your time at South Carolina. And it seems to be something that players both on your team and potential recruits have really attached themselves to. Where does that come from?
All right, hold on a second. You stole my question because I can't dance and Shane Beamer can dance, and I've seen it, and I wanted to ask him,
so
how much does he charge an hour for choreography?
We'll stick with that question. Where did you pick up the moves?
Well, y'all are kind. I can't dance, but you guys are kind. You're the first person that's ever told me that I could, so thank you. I appreciate that. No, I think with me, what you see is what you get. Sometimes you see guys become head coaches, and they're one way in front of the cameras, and they're another way behind the cameras. And I'm me. If we're successful, it's going to be because of that, and if we're not successful, it's going to be because of that.
Same great show, new time.
The Rob Brown Show.
Now 9 to noon, only on the Fan Upstate.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the wondrous work of of art put together by the Wizard of Wave himself.
I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with
up.
it. No, I think the music was too loud. It's too late now. I mean, it got nominated and everything, but I just
It didn't get nominated. It won.
no,
something.
you're right. You're right. It won.
You yourself have gotten onto me multiple times for saying we are nominated for best show, and you're like, no, we've already won. Now it's just who wins the big trophy and the little one.
I'm sure Picasso looked at his art and went, you know what? If I would have just made it a little more abstract.
Not enough yellow. Dude, it killed it. Smoked it. It's awesome, man. It's awesome.
That's my favorite part is Tony. I just can't.
Tony's great.
Especially since I had no idea what he actually said until we put this together, and I bumped up the audio.
It's just one of those midlife crises. What are you gonna do? Earring, 2 tattoos. It happens to the best of us.
I got him so good though.
It's the best.
I
man.
got him so good. That's if I never do anything ever, accomplish anything else, I got to talk to one of the guys that me and my papa used to watch on Saturday nights, and I got him.
Shivani.
I got him.
It was a good interview too.
It was. That was great.
Submit that for interview of the year if that's a thing.
And by the way, also, Keegan is said, so you said you wouldn't play it on stream. I played it on stream. We might get flagged, but I'm taking responsibility for it.
If we get flagged, it was worth it.
There's still a possibility.
If we get flagged, it was worth it. Without a doubt. So anyway, for those of you that asked, there's the submission. And as we've mentioned, if you missed it, we have been nominated for Sports Talk Show of the Year radio format, as has our afternoon show. Our colleagues, our compatriots, our friends, Mark and Diesel on Offsides.
Don't you
so
do
no matter
it.
who wins that thing, it's coming back to the fan
Don't you
upstate.
all right. So if you've been listening for a while, you see he tried to pass up the opportunity again to point out that Rob Brown is also up for Sportscaster of the Year. I don't know why you keep leaving that out. That is a major accomplishment, and you should brag on yourself. I'm bragging on you. I think you deserve it. Obviously, you deserve it. The South Carolina Broadcasters Association, they believe you deserve it also. So way to go, man. Picking up 2 pieces of hardware. Both of those things are going to look good on the mantle.
I appreciate it.
Or the trophy case. I don't know where you're putting them.
I'll go ahead and tell you right now. They sit, you know where they sit? They sit in the studio. I may have to reorganize this because I feel like they got to be on the stream.
They make mini spotlights. I don't know if you knew that. You got to get a mini spotlight, highlight it with some LED behind it.
I may have to, I'm not even kidding. I may have to tear down the man cave and put it back together to put those on a floating shelf.
All right. So
but I wasn't gonna do it with one. If we get 2 or 3, then I will.
The producer just gets a certificate. It's just a little thing that says thank you for being a part of it. The host always gets the trophy, and I'm not trying to do that thing you think I'm trying to do. I got a stack of those certificates. I could cover an entire wall. Okay, so I'm not. What I was going to say is I did get a couple trophies because the host didn't show up and they never got it back. And my name is on those trophies. So it's not like it's just, I still think it's unfair. I think that they should give like a morning show. Our friends down the hall, Hawk and Tom, are up for show of the year. If they win it, they get 1 trophy. And there are 4 people on that show. I think there should be 4 trophies. I think there should be the amount that's on the show should be part of it. But anyway, the couple I have, those balls that look like you put your hands. All right. Electricity goes through it. It's usually
Keep giving
no.
me
You're
the one who started this game. Great one.
I did.
Let me go and make the note on the tablet.
I did.
Is 11:13 a.m.
I did. So usually in especially black and white scary movies and stuff, there's always that thing in the background that's generating electricity inside of a glass globe. I have one of those where if you put your fingers on it, the electricity will go around the thing. So I have that behind my trophies. So when I turn that on, it's like electricity is going through the crystal trophies. It's really cool. That's all I was trying to say. He actually is writing that down.
11:13 a.m. And I'm not even going to repeat the sentence.
It's all right.
I'm just going to.
It's okay.
It.
It's all right. Hey, listen, the war that we're going to have in the future.
Oh, dude, we're gonna wreck our own show. We're gonna wreck.
All I can say, and if I say this, you can't take it. Say hello to my little friend. That's mine. I claim it.
Oh, man.
Wait a minute. You don't want to combine that with the other thing, though.
Keegan said the sounder board is going to get the show canceled. Maybe.
Nah, we're all right.
James said, quote from Rob Brown, sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of our trophies. Yeah, buddy. That's what we're here for.
They are pretty loud. I got to say.
But again, I would like to point out, we put this show together to make it something that entertains you, is for something that you guys enjoy. If we happen to pick up some hardware because of it, we'll take it.
You know, all that's true, but at the same time, it's okay to pat yourself on the back, especially for that Sportscaster of the Year thing. I mean, I think, I'm not saying it's a given because we learned our lesson last year about being nominated for.
We got humbled hard
because
last year.
I deserved that because I had never bragged so much in my entire life as I did last year, and I got hit, and so I'm not gonna reach those levels. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna brag, but
we were not okay last year. It was bad. So we busted it up this year. That's why that red jacket's been hanging there. That's why it'll now get worn in August. And again, and I say this sincerely, thank you guys, because if y'all didn't listen, watch, text, tweet, call, participate, or just sit there and enjoy this show, turns out we wouldn't have a show to have submitted. So I mean this from the bottom of my dark and icy heart. Thank you guys for letting us do this. Thank you guys for letting us goof off and call it a job and hopefully win some crystal because of it.
And by the way, don't think by any means that we're done, because it's just another one. Now,
what's the one thing we haven't done yet? Back to back. You're right. Well, we want to build a dynasty.
Yeah, I agree. We got to win this one first.
Like there's the dude who, by the way, is fantastic, but there's a dude who's won Sportscaster of the Year like 11 of 12 years or some ridiculous streak like that. That dude's dynastic. That dude's the Tom Brady of the Star Wars. That's the goal, man.
See,
that's the goal.
There's a problem, James. I work myself into a shoot daily.
Brother. I'm just glad we can finally have it's a work sounder. You don't need one. It's just Scott Lonzo for that.
I can't find anything better than me saying it's a work because, you know.
Steven said, can we get a wellness check on Ray after this news? I don't have the one thing I haven't put on this yet is the call software yet, Zoe. So I don't know who's on the phone.
Okay. No, I got you.
That's why I'm asking.
We've got JD who wants to talk some NASCAR.
JD, let's do it. What's up, big fella? Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, Rob. How's it going? Thanks for having me on.
You know it.
I just heard you speaking about the NASCAR, so I wanted to, bring this point up too. There's no runoffs for this course since it's on the streets. Most of the road courses, they have runoffs where if someone goes down into the corner a little too hot, they can just drive straight ahead, stop, and then continue on. Well, there's not going to be runoffs here at the Chicago race, and it's just going to be drag strips and hard 90s, and I think there's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving, and I think it has the potential to be a great race. I just wanted to get in on your comments on that, and like I said, it's just going to be drag racing down the straightaway and then braking and hitting a hard 90, so I think there's going to be a lot of bumping and shoving and spinning going on.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that, especially considering how much this year, JD, retaliation's coming to play. Like we're seeing guys who are holding grudges for 5, 6, 7, 8 races, waiting to get the receipt until it does the most damage to whoever it was that tagged them in the first place. This one's kind of interesting because, as you mentioned correctly, there's no room here, right? This isn't Sonoma where if you get bumped off the track, you're going to spin 3-4 times because there's 100 yards of grass between you and the fence. If you come off the race surface here, your day is at the worst over and at the best going to be real challenging because it's also not like this is a spot where if you're a better team on better equipment, you're going to be able to make it up, making these long runs where, you get 2-3 extra miles an hour out of your machine and it can close the gap. There's no wide open on this track. I was watching a dude do a virtual drive of it earlier this morning. The longest straightaway on this track is like less than a half a mile. I don't think he came out of fourth gear. Right? Like it's a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, right back to 3, 2 in order to get down to first to make the turn. So if guys are bumping here, and they're going to be, there's just not that much room in some spots. But if guys are bumping, if there are receipts to be handed out, they will end races today. Not just spin a guy and make it hard. They will end races. So I'm really intrigued in a year that we have seen more driver conflict resulting in DNFs than I can remember over the past few years. To do this on a surface they're unfamiliar with turn angles they're unfamiliar with, having to work the gearbox constantly from start to finish, and with exactly zero room to go off the surface without wrecking your car up. Man, this is to me, JD, not just the scenery, right? If you lifted this track and you stuck it in a cornfield in Iowa, I don't care that it's around skyscrapers in Chicago. This is the most compelling race of the year, and that includes Bristol on dirt. That includes the 600 at Charlotte, the endurance race. All of those races are great. They're all fun. I wouldn't miss any of them. This is not just the most compelling race of this season. This is the most compelling race since 2 years ago when they raced on dirt at Bristol for the first time.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I think I've heard they spent $50 million for this race weekend, and this is where they can capitalize. You're going to have new eyes, going to be in a new spot, new racetrack, like you said, down the city streets. It's something completely new. It is going to be very compelling, and if anybody's got payback to pay, it's the perfect place to do it because. Hey, we've never raced here before. How can you tell me I ran him down into turn on purpose? I messed, you know what I mean? I messed up. I didn't know what I was doing.
No, you're spot on. You're spot on. But again, I would also argue you got to be careful. There's some danger in that for you because if you end up, let's say you go front quarter panel to rear quarter panel to try to get a guy turned, if you go about it the wrong way and you spin, it's not like there's hundreds of yards for you too. So handing out a receipt here is more dangerous than it is at a lot of other tracks because there's no infield. There's no bumper. There's no tie. I mean, you're going in a wall and you're done. There's a couple of spots like the start finish line is in the midst, JD. I don't know if you've gotten to see a layout of the track yet. The start.
Oh, yes, yeah, I did.
Okay. The start finish line is in the middle of like a 7-lane highway, right? It's the widest part of the track, and that is where you're going to see most, I think, of the position changes during the course of the race. But once you start getting into those left and rights, those quick 90 degrees that, on the gas, right back on the brake, hairpins, etc. Once you get to those spots, there's no room to hand a receipt there, right? Because you will take yourself out as well. That's why this race is so incredibly compelling to me because decisions have to be made in a tenth of a second on a track that none of these guys have not just run this track. They've never run a track like it before, and that's incredible to me.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm just glad that you like talking NASCAR, man. It's great to talk it. They're such good athletes, and no one really ever gives them credit for such. But just as long as everyone stays away from Chase Elliott and he can get a win this weekend to get him into the chase or the playoffs, we're good to go.
Running out of time. Rob. You got it. Thank you, JD. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, NASCAR is always going to have time on this show. Always going to have time on this show. Let's take a break. When we come back, Major League Baseball. Why? Because I got a text that said, and I quote, I thought you said 33% baseball. Brah. I did. I was being sarcastic. But now you're going to make me do a full baseball segment. You're welcome. Ray, you can thank that guy. Texas said, I'm seeing transmission issues and the F1 driver getting taken out early. I don't know, man. Do you bump the guy who this is his specialty? Does he get a couple of welcome to the show messages sent from the boys that run every week? I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, we'll take a break. Talk MLB All-Star Baseball. We're a week away on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. What was that look for? What was that look for?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hudson said, LFG, that guy, baseball. Don't work yourself into a shoot, brother.
So I got to say, I tried really hard and was successful at keeping baseball off the air today. And then that guy, I've derailed, I've diverted, I've done everything I could to keep baseball. Because we've had although is that an average per day or per week? Because if it's an average per week, then you can't talk baseball today because you've talked so much baseball the entire week.
We have not talked a third of the week about baseball.
Oh, absolutely. Should we go back? We can go back. We can just go on the on the rock chapters.
There are 9 segments a day. There are 5 shows a week. That's a lot of segments a week. That is 45 segments.
I was waiting for the click. It just didn't happen.
I was like,
it's gonna hit.
Do this,
Come
dummy.
on.
Dummy, yeah. 45 segments a week. In order to talk a 33% baseball clip, that means we would have to talk 15 segments of baseball a week. We have talked this week at most 5. At most 5.
Well, if we're going to listen to the audience, as you've said many times, then Josh wants to hear about soccer.
I do have a rant on Landon Donovan to make.
Oh, there we go. I know that name.
I think I'm gonna make a web video exclusive out of that.
This is radio. Who cares about video? Sarcasm. I hope you guys.
Who cares about video?
Yeah.
Our bosses, all of them.
Yeah. That's why I'm pointing out that was sarcasm, just in case.
Boss, his boss's boss.
Although this morning I come in and I'm just me, and right away, Rob and Chris are like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm just being me. This is me every morning. I'm basically the same way. And I think they were some kind of way in thinking that I was, I'm just being me, man. You guys know me just about as better than anybody in the building. So what were you expecting? Rob asked me how I'm doing every morning, and I can't tell him how I'm really doing because it takes too long.
How dare I?
Trying to do that small talk thing when we don't require it. It's not necessary between you and I. All the small talk is taken care of while we're in the office and I just say random things and Rob laughs and pretends like he's listening to me. That's when the small talk happens. Don't talk baseball, Rob. Don't do it.
I'm doing it.
I think
it's your fault.
I think they would rather hear about the fact that you are nominated for Sportscaster of the Year, which is a big deal, and you just won't talk about it. Are you worried about jinxing it? Nope. Is that what it is? I think that might be what it is.
I'm not.
Why didn't I catch that before?
Your Major League Baseball All-Starters have been announced. I'm jumping straight into the segment so that Lonzo can't do Lonzo things and derail me before I get the speed going.
Didn't we talk about that yesterday?
Nope, sure
Because we talked about the fact that the Braves basically are like the entire team. I'm still talking baseball, dude. I'm not trying to. I mean,
we talked about who might be starters for the Bravos today. We talked about who are starters for the Bravos.
You mean starters in the All-Star game for
the MLB All-Star game?
Okay,
for the Atlanta Braves. That is correct. We know that Shohei Ohtani was a starter for the American League, considering the fact that he was the top vote getter for the AL. We know that Atlanta Braves All-Star outfielder.
Is he pitching or is he?
He will be playing DH.
Okay.
And he will be playing DH because last night, Shohei Ohtani clubbed his 29th home run. For the record, Shohei Ohtani not only leads.
Let's do that. He's on pace to do this after how many games have they played?
Sure, we can. He is on pace, depending on what he hits. So the All-Star game is the 11th. You got about a 3-day break before that. So he's got about a week of baseball left. If Shohei Ohtani clubs one more home run, he's on pace to get to 60. Do you remember last year when Aaron Judge was chasing down 60? It was huge. Now imagine, Lonzo. Now imagine.
I was going to say, was I supposed to answer that question? Because I didn't. I mean, you know.
Now imagine that we have another home run chase out of Shohei Ohtani. Last year, we watched Aaron Judge get to 62, right? If Shohei hits 2 more before the All-Star break, he will be on pace to get to 62. Aaron Judge
he's on the cover of the video game, so he's supposed to do well, right?
For the record, Shohei Ohtani should be on the cover of everything that has to do with baseball anywhere ever. If I clip this segment and put it on the podcast section of the webpage at thefanupstate.com, where you can listen to all 3 hours of the show every day and listen to highlight segments of the show, I will put Shohei Ohtani's face on it, because if we're going to talk baseball, it should only be Shohei Ohtani. That's how good this guy is.
Make sure you use pictures that we legally can use, though, because, you know
how when we talk about the NFL, everybody calls Tom Brady the GOAT, but we all have discussions about whether he is or isn't.
No. Everybody that you're generalizing.
Everybody who's not you.
Okay. No, there are others like me who do not recognize that person.
Everybody
as what
but
you said
you
they
and
are.
two other people.
There's more than 3. There's at least 5.
All right. The way that we always have discussions. All right. Let me use basketball instead. Let me make my life easier here. When we talk basketball, and we bring up the GOAT. If you're my age, it's Michael Jordan. If you're older than me, it's Magic Johnson. If you're older than that, it's Oscar Robertson. If you're younger than me, it's LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. You know, there's like 4 or 5 guys that are kind of in that mix. When we talk the GOAT, guys, I am stating this as a fact. This is not a question. This is a statement of fact, and it is one of the very few things I'm going to say that you can't argue with. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player to ever walk the face of planet Earth. That is a truth. This man is a Cy Young Award candidate this year. This man is leading Major League Baseball in home runs. This man leads the LA Angels, a team with Mike Trout on it, a guy who up until a year or 2 ago was considered the greatest baseball player on planet Earth. Shohei Ohtani leads the Angels in every pitching category and every offensive category at the same time. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player to ever live. Don't walk in here with your weak-ass Babe Ruth take, all right? Because he's not. Babe Ruth was fine for that point in time. Shohei Ohtani is outdoing everything Babe Ruth did.
So Babe Ruth was the greatest of all time so far at that time.
No, I'm saying when people make arguments against this, yes, Babe Ruth was the greatest of all time so far in his day and age. I am saying this right now. If we see another player do anything close to what Shohei Ohtani is doing right now today, I will be dumbfounded. And here's why we won't. The reason we won't see another Shohei Ohtani in my lifetime, without a doubt, is because we are specializing athletes earlier and earlier in their careers, right? When Lonzo and I were playing ball back in our day, you went out and you did everything, right? When Rob Brown was playing Little League Baseball, I played first base, I played third base, I played all 3 positions on the outfield, I was a pitcher, and I was a catcher. I did everything with the exception of the middle infield, and that's just because I was sturdy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say slow.
I was, but I think that's implied, right? And we're doing that to baseball players earlier and earlier, right? Now, when I got to high school, they said, Rob Brown, you're now a first baseman and a pitcher, right? That's what you do. You got a decent fastball and you're lanky. We're putting you at first base and we're putting you on the bump. I watch Little Leaguers now where managers are like managing 9-year-olds as pitchers, only pitchers. We don't give guys chance to explore the field and see where they're coming from, which means that the number of two-way players is shrinking year by year by year by year by year because we're not giving kids chances to figure out, can you be a two-way player or not? So we'll never see another Shohei Ohtani. The dude is this is the one, and I say this sincerely to Lonzo and to all of you. Tom Brady, I am fine with the label GOAT so far. I think that's 100% fair. We could see another Tom Brady in our lifetime, without a doubt. I am happy
we might be seeing one now. That's why it's easier to say that, probably.
Patrick Mahomes could get to 7. I don't disagree. I'm fine with Tom Brady as the GOAT so far. I'm fine with LeBron James as the GOAT so far. I could realistically see us seeing another LeBron James in our lifetime. Absolutely a possibility. I am stating this as a fact. We will never see another Shohei Ohtani in our lifetime. And if we do, I will be blown away by it. Shohei Ohtani's the best in the game. Anyway, back to where I was going initially. Shohei Ohtani, and rightfully so, was the number 1 vote getter out of the American League. He's a starter. Ronald Acuna Jr., who's he play for? Great one.
The Braves.
The Atlanta Braves was the number 1 vote getter in the National League, so he is a starter. Over on the NL side, and remember, these are fan votes. Yandy Diaz of the Tampa Bay Rays will start over Toronto's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Marcus Semien out of Texas will start over Whit Merrifield. Corey Seager, also from Texas, will start over Bo Bichette of the Blue Jays. Josh Young from the Rangers will start over Matt Chapman. How about the Texas Rangers, Lonzo? Shortstop, second base, third base, all Rangers guys. But here's what's interesting. The Rangers defense is average. It's good. It's right in the middle of the league.
First baseman must suck.
The reason,
how do you feel if you're that guy? Yeah, everybody else is like, really, guys? I mean,
have fun in Seattle. 75% of the infield starters for the American League, all Texas Rangers, but that is because the Rangers are mashers because they got the best offense in baseball. Mike Trout from the Angels will join Shohei Ohtani, who is a starting DH. Mike Trout will be starting in the outfield. He will start alongside Randy Arozarena of the Tampa Bay Rays. My guy, my dog. Love Randy Arozarena. And Aaron Judge named a starter, which is hilarious because Judge has been out before. He's out again now. He is not going to be available to the Yankees again until after the All-Star break. So he will be replaced as a starter by either Yordan Alvarez, Adolis Garcia, or Kevin Kiermaier. Jonah Heim from the Rangers is also going to be a starter. He'll be a catcher. The Rangers have 4 starters just in the infield for the American League. As we mentioned, Shohei, the DH. Over on the National League side, Matt Olson. Who's he play for, Lonzo?
The Braves?
The Atlanta Braves is a reserve. He did not earn enough votes in the dying breath.
Slacker.
To overtake Freddie Freeman. It's not a slacker. Freddie Freeman, who just joined the 2000 hit club in his career, is really, really playing good ball. Here's what I love. When Freddie Freeman left the Atlanta Braves, I got told, Rob, it's a disaster. We're never winning again. We let Freddie go. His replacement, Matt Olson, just barely got beat out by Freddie Freeman as the reserve all-star. So you lost an all-star first baseman, and you picked up a first baseman who's an all-star. I tried to warn you. Listen to me. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Ozzie Albies, second baseman. Who's he play for, Lonzo?
The Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves is also a reserve at second base. Louis Arise is your starter at second base. No shocker there. My man is batting 400, y'all. He is threatening Ted. He's not going to get there. There's a lot of baseball left, and he's got to get on the other side of the break. A lot of guys lose momentum after that. We'll see. I'm pulling for him. I would love to see a 400 batter in my lifetime. Never done it before. Hope we do. Be amazing. But he just beats out Ozzie Albies because he's doing something that no one has done since like 1802. Louis Arise deserves the nod. At shortstop, New York Mets Francisco Lindor will be backing up Orlando Arcia. Who's he play for, Lonzo?
The Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves. Orlando gets the starting nod. Over at third base, Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals gets the nod, which I don't understand. He will be backed up by Austin Riley. Who's he play for, Lonzo?
The Braves, yeah.
The Atlanta Braves. Third baseman Austin Riley is your backup there. Out in the outfield, we already know Ronald Acuna is going to be starting as the NL's number 1 vote getter, and he should be, ladies and gentlemen. You know how many bases he's stolen this year? All of them. He's stolen all the bases. And on top of that, he's mashing the ball right now. The Braves can't stop hitting Dingus! Love that. Mookie Betts of the LA Dodgers will join him, as will rookie Corbin Carroll, your rookie of the year. By the way, Hayden asked Mario on Bet for the Cycle, my nationally syndicated baseball gambling show, which airs from noon till 4 every Saturday on the BetQL network and on fine Odyssey stations around the country. Mario's a Cubs fan. Matt Mervis got called up earlier in the year. The Cubs fans thought he was the savior of the Windy City, to the point that Mario wanted to make a bet that he would win your National League Rookie of the Year, and I took him up on that bet. And not only did poor Hayden-ass Mario take me up on that bet, he was willing to bet Mervis versus the field that Matt Mervis would win it. And because he was so passionate, do you know what I bet, Hayden-ass Mario? A Brazilian wax versus my hair. It was a hair versus hair match, just in a twisted way. If Mario won and Matt Mervis won NL Rookie of the Year, Rob Brown was going to, less than a year before he got married, Lonzo, shave the head bald, bick the hair, stone cold.
Hold on. This is, you didn't run this by someone, did you?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope. You know why? Because I knew I had won the bet before the bet got made. But I
did you though?
I was like
97%
sure I had won.
So what part of you was scared to death to have to tell someone that you have to shave your head?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I ran through that scenario in my head and I was like, well, I won't be getting married. Well, but she'll reset the date till like 2028.
Your hair grows pretty fast, so
it does. So I made a hair versus hair match where if I lost this bet, I had to go bick down to the skin. I had to stone cold myself. But if Mario lost, which he's going to, Mario has to get a full Brazilian.
All right, so that is that's like nether regions, right?
Correct.
Oh.
That is not just the nether regions, Lonzo. The Brazilian is every part of you that is covered by your underoos.
So
backside too.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Up in there.
No.
All up in there.
No.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
Why?
Because I'm trying to
no,
Mario to be smarter and better.
I get all that. It's just why would you? Why did someone go? You know what we ought to do?
Well, for the 90% of people who get Brazilians are the ladies because they have slightly less in the swimsuit department.
I got you. I understand. I was more talking about the caboose part.
I mean, again, not my circus, not my clown.
No, we probably should move on.
Anyway, Corbin Carroll is a rookie in the National League, and he is an all-star. Guess who's going to win NL Rookie of the Year? That's Corbin Carroll. Mario, poor guy. And, Michael Harris Jr. is going to be a reserve outfielder. Who's Michael Harris Jr. play for, Lonzo?
That would be the Atlanta
Braves.
So you're a nationally syndicated baseball show.
Sure.
What was it called again?
Bet for the Cycle. Every Saturday, noon to 4 on the BetQL network and on fine Odyssey stations everywhere.
Since that's on the internet, how much can you actually show of the...
Here's what's happening, because we obviously can't show the delicates while Mario is having this happening. What we're doing is Double D, our producer, our video producer and coordinator, is going to go with him to A, ensure that Mario does not play act as if he's getting a Brazilian, and B, he's just going to film Mario's face when he asks. Oh, and by the way, the favorite part of all this is when we explain, because I don't think, knew what the Brazilian was.
I got to tell you, I knew what part of it was, but I didn't realize there was more to it.
And on top of that, see, for those of you that watched the show last year, you know that Cody Decker and we've lost, I think, 4 bets to the production staff so far. And one of the ones we lost last year was we had to get a body part waxed. Cody Decker went with his chest because he's hairy like a bear. Rob Brown went with his leg because it is the only part of me that even resembles being hairy. And we got our chest and leg waxed live on the air. Well, Mario thought, it's fine. They'll be fine. Mario did not know that the process.
Don't you be trying to combine the two. We both have awesome hair. So, I mean, there's that.
He does have great hair. And by the way, he went Brazilian because I went hair v. hair. Loser shaves bald. He wasn't willing to do that. He would rather get a Brazilian than shave his hair. And I don't blame him.
I'm never taking a bet, but I'm there with him.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Mario did not know that A, it is hot wax that gets poured on your delicates.
You say hot, it's not like scalding hot. I mean, it has to take that,
It's hot, bro. It's hot. Then B, that the hair just gets ripped out of you. Ripped. So anyway, my poor producer.
Like tearing your soul from your body is what I'm guessing.
All I'm saying is if you ain't confident in the bet, don't make the bet. All right. Corbin Carroll is a rookie. He'll be starting, and he's also going to be your NL Rookie of the Year. Michael Harris II will be playing in the outfield. And at catcher, Sean Murphy beats out the Dodgers' Will Smith. Hey, Lonzo, who's Sean Murphy play for?
Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves. You got to love it. Sean Murphy, Michael Harris Jr., Ronald Acuna, Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson. How about the Bravos? There's your starters for your MLB All-Star Game, July 11th, live from Seattle, Washington. If you're a Bravos fan, I'd probably watch. We got one segment left in this whole week, and it's next on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate.
And just like that, a week of wonderful programming is nearly over. Hard to believe. I keep grabbing the wrong mouse. And yes, Rob wrote down something I said earlier to pull for clips. I don't believe for a second he's going to remember. Even though he wrote it down, I feel safe. And I could also have, technical problems where his sound doesn't work on this side, like turning it off. Would never do such a thing. Thank you, Stephen. It really is awesome. The experience is really awesome, too, because it is set up just like all the award shows that you see, except for the winners don't get to speak, which is probably a good thing. I can't do it, Sean. He's told me his disdain for certain nicknames. I hadn't heard the Lil Bob, though. All right, I said I can't do it. I probably can do it. If he decides to come back in the room, there he is. Lil Bob has entered the room.
Sean, you're a jerk. I wanted to call you something worse, but
he almost did. It was on his. I wouldn't do that on the air. Yeah, I know we're on the stream.
I came so close to clicking the ban button. I almost banned you from the stream. Shawnee Bear.
Wow, there's actually there's something there.
We're brothers.
Yeah, I know, but I mean that's a little that's a little
For
more.
my little brother, but I also hate him.
In
a loving way.
I said I wouldn't do it, and then I couldn't help myself, which he probably knew that by putting that out there. So.
Also, it's an ad, so I can't blow it up.
That's very Seth Rollins.
That's very Rob Brown. Wait till it comes back. There it is. Look at that.
By the way, Keegan sent me
Black
something
with
on
gold
Twitter,
paisley.
a duster for $34.
Is it floor length? If it comes to the knees, you don't want it. It's got to be floor length.
It's how you walk with it.
No,
it doesn't have to
it's
be.
gotta be floor length.
I
It ain't
don't.
a duster if it ain't floor length.
Dude, I don't want a floor length.
Got to be floor length.
No.
That's the look.
No. Because I'm gonna be walking like this. I mean, or like this with the old, grabbing it like this.
Since we didn't say it on the air, for those of you on the stream, the theme of the award ceremony this year is the hoedown.
I think we did.
We did say it on the air. So Lonzo and I, of course, as we always do, are going to lean way heavy
Yeah.
into it. way
Hey.
heavy. First off, I don't need an
Dude,
excuse to wear a cowboy
dude.
hat, but I'm gonna take it.
I'm getting a sheriff's badge so I can pull
Do
it
it.
back.
But
I
get
gotta
like
do
get
that.
like one of the kids ones.
Of course, I'm not
Yeah.
paying money for it. I'm not. Although we could get one made that says the Rob Brown Show on it, and you pull it back, and there it is. Don't do it, James.
I will fight all of you. I will fight. I will be like John Wick.
Sean, feel free to message me and let me know what the story is behind all that.
That's what my family called me growing up. So there were three Robs.
No, I get it. I
right?
get it. I get it.
And so there was Big Bob. That was my grandpa. There was Bob. That was my dad. And so that is what came to be my nickname. And for the record, I don't go by that name because that was my grandpa's name and that was my dad's name. It's not mine.
I get it. Hey, my nickname was Looney, Goofy, Silly, all those type of things. And I know you guys are like, there's no way. Where did that come from? It's just so weird. It doesn't fit your personality.
Our pitchforks left. Steven, I'll fight you too.
You know, it's amazing how noise canceling my headphones really are. Because Rob was just talking and at full level, didn't hear a word he said.
It's impressive.
Yeah, these things are awesome and necessary. Time for Twitter trending topics where I tell you what is trending, and Rob will tell us why. The first thing is trending is the bad guy from Shrek 1, because I'm not going to attempt to say his name.
Lord Farquaad.
Yes.
Yeah. The best, man.
Type it in. Type No. Type it in, because you're going to be amazed. No, it's not a bad thing.
Well, listen, the game is not to look it up, but now that you're telling me this,
No,
I can't
because
not.
you have to. There's a picture associated with it if it pops up. Do you see the picture of the dude?
Not yet.
All right. Well, on Twitter, it's trending. So I don't know if you typed it. Anyway, there's a picture of a guy, an actual person who looks just like him. Have you see it? You see it? That's why it's trending. Does that guy not know that he looks? By the way, everyone listening at home, just look it up.
It's pretty funny.
Make sure you spell it right.
It's
though.
pretty funny.
The next thing is trending is Jeff Van Gundy.
Really?
Yes.
Which means that somebody's considering hiring him to come be their head coach?
No, he got let go.
Really?
Yes.
So there's been a lot. There are ongoing a lot of cuts in the broadcasting world right now.
Especially at ESPN.
Yeah, ESPN's just. I mean, it's a massacre over there. Which a lot of them are rightfully upset when they. And again, I love the guy, but they just gave Pat McAfee $127 bazillion to move his product over
They
there.
gave Pat all the money and took all the money away from everybody else. But it's
Like,
not McAfee. You can't. I don't think you can hate McAfee for that.
No.
Because it's not his fault.
No, if they called me right now and offered me the contract, I'd take it too, right? I will tell you who I really do feel bad for. Sincerely, Max Kellerman. Feel awful for Kellerman.
Yeah, I don't.
Kellerman is always the second dude. Every show he's on, they're like, you're just going to be the guy who facilitates the conversation for the main guy.
Yeah, I know how
but
that
they
feels.
keep putting him on shows that aren't good over and over. And Kellerman is likely about to take a fat pay
He had
cut.
his own TV show where he was a guy, and then he has Max on boxing. I mean, he's had his chance to be the.
That mainstream boxing news site that they run.
All right, fine. The last thing is trending is Sportscaster of the Year, which
it's
Rob is
not.
nominated for, and he won't talk about it. But this man over here, I'm pointing, is nominated for Sportscaster of the Year. Show him his love. As the kids say, send him his flowers. Don't do it literally, because we don't have any
You
room
can't
for
like
it.
flowers?
Okay, not the smelly ones, though, because
Oh.
I have like allergies or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us for the week. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting us, have a job. We appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you guys. We'll be back next Monday. Do us a favor. Make sure you congratulate Mark Ryan and Diesel for Offsides being nominated for Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year. That trophy's coming home to the fan upstate, baby. That's what we do. Y'all have a lovely weekend. Don't drink and drive. I'll punch you in the face. If you're at the Greenville Triumph game tomorrow, come by and see me. I'll be there. Have a good one. See you Monday on the Rob Brown Show. and the fan upstate. Later, brother. That was an aggressive brother. The Atlanta Braves.
Oh.
You know, I don't realize how loud that really is until I do it without headphones.
Dude. That's like
It's the same volume I do it at on the air.
yeah, well, I talked about my headphones. That was not a lie. That was not a work. Oh, I'm just looking at my face now after it just happened, just seeing it replayed. That's real pain right there.
All right, let's see. My bassist said this is the outfit I should wear.
Is that Mike Nesmith?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
He said, if this isn't your outfit, I'm cutting you out of the will. Wait, hang on. I'll bring it back up for you guys.
Yeah, I don't think the young folks will know who that is.
I'll tell you what. I'm not even kidding.
His mom is the inventor of whiteout.
Really? There's a fun fact.
Dude is rich. You didn't know that?
Ladies and
He
gentlemen,
inherited
if
all
any
that
one of
money.
you can listen, the plan has been the red jacket from the beginning. But if any of you can find me a peacock-inspired white Western suit that doesn't break my bank, I'm in.
I'm really glad that Poncho was brought up because that's my backup. If I can't find a duster, I'm going. No. I am going Back to the Future Poncho.
Oh, little Doc Brown.
No, so corny looking. Like, who dressed you?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Keegan Sullivan will be at the Triumph game tomorrow. How about that?
I saw that. That's a big deal.
You know who else will be at the Triumph game tomorrow? Mama Brown and my nephew Lou.
Which is really cool. You know who else will be there?
Lonzo.
No, the sportscaster of the year is going to be there.
I don't know if Mike Smith is going to be there.
That's not his name. His name. Well, I'm not saying his name.
I will. I respect the hell out of that.
It's Chris Miller.
Do you
he's
know
won a
how
ton
big
times.
my head gets if I win 10 out of 11 Sportscaster of the Year awards? I wouldn't. I'd have to work from home because I couldn't get out of the door.
I've met him a couple times. He seems pretty cool. He knows who I am because how could you not? I mean, you know.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, he could, James. He absolutely could. My ear still hurts. I just want.
12 years in a row he
Yeah,
has won it.
I told you.
12 in a row. That's incredible, man. Like, good on that guy. I would lose my mind if I go if I go dozen in a row. I may never stop wearing jerseys with.
Well, here's the thing. He was able to dip into our category last year and win. Now we're dipping into his. So you know what you got to do, right?
I mean, I can't do anything about
it. You know what you got to do.
For the record, I put together my own submission for that award. I did not expect to even be like mentioned on it. I just wanted to give it. In fact, for the record, I wasn't going to.
He didn't want to do it. There was pushback.
I wasn't.
You can only push back so far with the person who asked him to do it.
Correct. I wasn't going to, mainly because I 100% did not want to not get
You didn't want to
listed.
be disappointed.
I wasn't going to be listed, and then I was going to be like, of course I wasn't listed. I didn't submit anything. And then the boss came down the hall, and he's like, no, I'm not asking you. Put a submission together. Put one together.
Oh, you thought that was a question.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. He sent me an email like late one night. He's like, what do you think about putting together a submission for Sportscaster? And I was like,
which is his way of saying you're doing it.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to really read those emails.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I don't think I've done enough to consider it. And then the next day he's like, where's that submission? And I was like, oh, I thought you were asking me if I wanted to. I was like, nope, put a submission together. So I did. I spent 2 days putting it together and got it to him and got nominated, which is humbling. Joey B said, I'm assuming it was Hendricks, and if so, good on Hendricks for putting the foot in Rob's butt. Yeah, no, that's what happened. For the record, that's exactly
he didn't
what
need
happened.
you haven't seen that. Well, maybe you have seen the look. No, it's just a look. Don't need a foot. Just that look. Like you can't recreate it. You could
It's a
try.
metaphorical foot. is
Yeah,
what it is.
it's like yeah.
For the record,
I got
will
one
say
of them
this.
looks yesterday. It's not fun.
For the record, I absolutely want to win that thing. Without a doubt, no joke, I want to win that. I think it'd be awesome. But if you're gonna lose, losing to the dude that's built, like if you're gonna lose the Super Bowl, you want to lose it to Brady.
Well, you
right?
kind of have a built-in excuse, but you don't want to think about it that way. You
No, I
want to win.
still want to. I absolutely want to win.
You want to jump up and say, "In your face, Chris."
Nope. I would 100% shade. That man's an icon, dude. A dozen
Is
of
he?
them.
Yeah, a couple of
That's an
minutes ago, he
icon.
couldn't even remember his name. What kind of icon is that? You got to look up his
doesn't.
name. People don't have to look up Rob Brown's name. They know Rob
I
Brown.
guarantee you someone at that station is looking up Rob Brown's name. Like, who the hell is this guy? Who is this clown? Because I think like a couple of those years, they just gave him the award before the thing even started, right? He was the only name on the list. They're just like, nope, this is the guy. So to even
because
be in that
people
mix, man,
were afraid to compete, but not you, not Rob Brown. Rob Brown said, "I'm going to go win this thing," and so he's in it.
No, he didn't.
You got to be in it to
Brown
win it,
got
dog.
Told you are going to go try to win this thing. Rob Brown was not going to put in for that thing. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed it. You guys are the best. Again, if you're at the Triumph game tomorrow, come find me. I will also be working the Greenville Drive game on the 4th of July. We'll be on the air Monday on the 3rd, but I'll be working the game on the 4th. So if you're planning on coming to that one, let me know. Have a great one. Enjoy your weekend. See you later. Goodbye.